Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Turner Field for Game 1 of the 1999 World Series between the American League champion New York Yankees and the National League champion Atlanta Braves. At this time, let's have a warm and loud welcome for the 1999 American League champion New York Yankees. The manager of the Yankees is number 6, Joe Torre. Here's tonight's starting lineup for the Yankees. Leading off, playing second base, number 11, Chuck Maddux. Batting second, playing shortstop, number 2, Derek Jeter. Batting third, playing right field, number 21, Paul O'Neill. Batting fourth, playing center field, number 51, Bernie Williams. Batting fifth, playing first base, number 24, Tino Martinez. Batting sixth, in the bullpen, the catcher, number 20, Jorge Posada. Batting seventh, playing the field, number 17, Ricky Leday. Batting eighth, playing third base, number 18, Scott Brocious. And the pitcher in the bullpen, batting ninth, number 26, Orlando Hernandez. And now, get on your feet. It's time to introduce your 1999 National League champion, Atlanta Braves.
Y'all ready for this?
Of the Braves is number 6, Bobby Cox. Starting lineup for the Braves. Leading off, playing left field, number 27, Gerald Williams. Batting second, playing second base, number 24, Brett Boone. Playing third base, number 10, Chipper Jones. Playing center field, number 25, Andrew Jones. Batting seventh in the bullpen, the catcher, number 12, Eddie Perez. Batting eighth, playing shortstop, number 22, Walt Weiss. And the pitcher in the bullpen, batting ninth, number 31, Greg Maddux. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. Kindly remove your caps for the presentation of colors, which will be presented tonight by Naval Air Station Atlanta. Also, at this time, cadets and staff from the Southeast Region Air Force ROTC are unfurling the flag in center field. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. Kindly remove your caps and to honor America, join in the singing of our national anthem, which will be presented tonight by Grammy Award-winning Arista recording artist and hometown girl, Monica.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet
and Joe Morgan will have the call of Game 1 of the 1999 World Series next.
This has been the E-Trade World Series pregame show.
Baseball isn't measured by time. It's measured by desire. The game moves toward the end, fueled by sweat and blood. And what matters then isn't how long it took to get there, but whether or not you have the stuff you need to finish it off.
The oxygen mask will be released, and in case of a sudden craving for the new chicken club from Burger King, an emergency pouch in the seat back in front of you contains one sandwich.
Hey, that's my sandwich.
Give me that sandwich, lady! Just give me the sandwich!
Everybody's craving the new chicken club. After all, it's a masterpiece of all-white meat chicken, crispy bacon, lettuce, and tomato. Burger King. Have it your way.
Jim Rosh follows his stocks every 20 minutes. Mark Phillips gets sports scores every half hour. Jeff Latretta plays the hottest new games. And Peter and Carla Wood got the best price on a new car. They do it all at Snap.com. Barb Suprak even has a personalized version of Snap. She gets what she wants when she wants it. And now you can buy on Snap. Gifts, electronics, sporting goods, almost anything. Shop, compare, and buy. The only limit is your imagination. Do it all on Snap.com.
Tonight, Norm Macdonald, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Saturday Night Live.
To help you remember 10-10-345 International Long Distance, we're here with the 3rd, 4th, and 5th members of the International Clairvoyance Institute. What do you see?
I see with 10-10-345, you save up to 60% on international calls.
I see calls to Japan are just 18 cents a minute, and China now 39 cents a minute.
Talk as long as you want for a low flat rate, anytime.
I see you've been wearing the same socks since you were 17.
What? And that is not your real hair.
I see you use 10-10-345 to call your plastic surgeon.
For up to 60% off international calls from home, dial 10-10-345 today.
How do they do it? I hear they use real lemons. Here's the table you reserved. Nice hustle, Jimmy. Thanks, Grandma. It's just not fair. Looks like you just earned yourself one free lemonade.
We didn't invent great service. We just took it to new heights. Alaska Airlines. For the same price, you just get more.
Where's this digital workplace of the future? Where's this mecca of digitized knowledge? This no-sweat sit-at-my-desk rule-the-world office network? Where's this bridge to the new millennium? This seamless fit to my network? These platform-compatible workhorses that will scan, copy, print, fax, collate, staple, and make me look like the god I am. Oh, 2 doors down from Felton. Image Runner and Image Class series from Canon. Here's the future. Let's get to work.
So in conclusion, I'd like to thank you, shareholders, for taking the time to attend.
Excuse me.
Yes.
This is Mr.
Matambo. Looking at your annual report, page 16, can you explain the implications of floating your long-term debt in a potentially inflationary economy?
When we created a smarter kind of investment firm...
Do you know anything about inventory valuation?
We created a smarter kind of investor.
Win big. Watch Instant Replay with Fred Rogan tonight right after the game.
The 1999 World Series. Tonight, it's Game 1. The New York Yankees versus the Atlanta Braves.
Just this past Tuesday night, this ballpark was the scene for the 6th and final game of a memorable National League Championship Series. Now we turn our attentions to the World Series, and we're joined by Joe Morgan. Joe, it seems strange to say that any team catches a break when they face Greg Maddux instead of the left-hander Tom Glavine, but statistically at least, the Yankees' best hitters do much better against right-handed pitching than left.
Well, that's true, but the Braves starters are all interchangeable in that they could all be #1 starters on any given day. But all things being equal, you would still rather start a left-hander against the Yankees. And the reason for that is Jeter, O'Neill, and Williams, they're all better against right-handed pitching. So I think the Yankees catch a break here, if you want to call it that, because Greg Maddux is capable of shutting down anyone. But the key for Maddux tonight will be whether he can stay down in the strike zone and keep the right-handed hitters honest and keep them from leaning out over the plate.
Here's something else that sounds strange to say about a 4-time Cy Young Award winner, speaking of Maddux, and a certain Hall of Famer. He is a lesser postseason pitcher than his opponent tonight, Orlando Hernandez. who has had 5 postseason starts and has performed like Sandy Koufax or Bob Gibson. He's 4-0 in the postseason in his brief major league career, and look at that microscopic ERA, 0.97.
And the thing that makes him tough, Bob, is that he throws any pitch from any angle. And what he does to the right-handers, he drops down and hits the outside part of the plate. The key pitch for him is his changeup. He falls in love with it every once in a while, but that has become his best pitch. And if he throws it for strikes tonight, the Braves could have a problem.
Hernandez was 17-9 for the year. Maddux was 19-9. Let's go to our on-field reporters, beginning with Craig Sager. Craig.
Well, Bob, Tom Glavine never misses a start, and I emphasize never. But tonight he is bedridden with the stomach virus and the flu. Throughout his 11-year career, he's been more reliable than the Courier. Neither rain, nor sleet, nor hail, but in this case, neither a sore arm nor bad knees or broken ribs have ever kept him from missing a start. But in the team's best interest, he called Greg Maddux to make sure not only physically, but mentally he was prepared to pitch the opener. With that assurance, he called Bobby Cox, who said, stay in bed, keep away from your teammates, and get ready to pitch in New York. Now over to Bob. Jim Gray.
All right, well, Luis Sojo is not with the Yankees tonight. His father died in New Jersey on Thursday, and he has accompanied his body back to his home country of Venezuela for burial. Sojo did call Joe Torre before the game and told him that he will be back in time for Game 3 on Tuesday night in New York. Now, Sojo was going to back up and replace Chuck Knobloch out in the field. Knobloch had been informed by Joe Torre back in Game 5 at Boston for defensive purposes. But we spoke to Torre before the game, and Torre says now that in all likelihood, Knobloch will stay in the game through its entirety. Bob?
Craig and Jim, thanks very much. Let's go to the Budweiser starting lineup for the New York Yankees. The top of the Yankee order, Knobloch and Jeter, has done a great job all season long setting the table for the middle of that order. Not so of the Atlanta Braves. When we look at their lineup, they have the lowest combined on-base percentage for their first 2 hitters of any team in the National League.
And the key for Greg Maddux, I said, is he'll have to keep the ball down in the strike zone, change speeds, move the ball in and out. He'll be relying a lot on his infield defense because he gets a lot of ground balls when he's throwing well. And Chipper Jones, 17 errors, led the Braves this year. But up the middle, Weiss and Boone and Andrew Jones, all very good defensive players.
This is the first World Series ever between teams that played each other during the regular season. In July at Yankee Stadium, the Braves won 2 of 3 from the Yanks. Maddux to Knobloch, ball 1. The plate umpire is the National League's Randy Marsh. Rocky Rowe of the American League at first. Steve Ripley from the National League at second. The American League's Darrell Cousins at third. Jerry Davis of the National League has the left field line. The American League's Jim Joyce is in right. That's a strike. For all of his greatness, the 4 Cy Young Awards, the 4 ERA titles, Greg Maddux has only been a so-so postseason pitcher. His playoff and World Series combined record is 10-9, way high.
And this year, Greg's control wasn't what it has been in the past. In fact, Greg gave up more hits than any other pitcher in the National League. He gave up 258 hits during the regular season.
His 2-1 pitch is hit in the air to shallow right. Jordan got a late break, but he has time to get there.
That's what he has to do. He threw the first couple of pitches away, then he came in and jammed Knobloch, because I think the Yankees are going to be looking for pitches away as we look at the scouting report. Relies on the movement with his fastball. Uses his changeup, meaning he changes off the fastball. It's not so much the change of speeds, he just changes right off the fastball. And when he gets ahead in the count, he usually gets you to chase something out of the strike zone.
Maddux split 2 decisions against the Yankees in the '96 World Series. Started against them in July at Yankee Stadium and was pummeled. Lasted just 3 1/3, 9 hits, 5 runs. Jeter fouls the first one off. Derrick's .349 average was second in the American League. Nomar Garciaparra won the batting title at .357 for the Red Sox. High for a ball. The Yankees are well known for making pitchers go deep into counts, but Maddux is best known for getting ahead in the count. Strike one, strike two. That's the story with Maddux. Hit back up the middle, and Jeter is aboard.
I don't think the Yankees will change their game plan the first time around through the order. I think they'll watch and see what Maddux does because they like to work the count. See, the target's down and in, pitches up and out over the plate, and he rips it right back through the middle for a base hit. Derek Jeter has been hot the entire season, and I don't expect him to cool off here in the World Series.
Now Paul O'Neill, whose broken rib is mending. He was playing hurt in the Division Series and the LCS. He is closer to 100% now.
Bob, when you have a rib injury, it only hurts you when you swing and miss. If you make contact, you really do not feel the rib.
Ball one to him. A year ago, Greg Maddux was 18-9. This year, 19-9. But in '98, his ERA was 2.22. This year, it's 3.57. So while he's still among the game's best, he's not quite as nearly invincible as he once was. This year, he had his fewest strikeouts in a decade, his fewest complete games in 12 years, his most home runs allowed since 1991. His 1-0 pitch to O'Neill, but first he chases Jeter back again.
And that is the game plan of a lot of teams with Greg Maddux. Try to get your running game started. Make him conscious of the runners at first base. Greg in the past didn't pay a lot of attention to the runners at first. His concentration and focus was always on the hitters. And he gave up a lot of stolen bases. But here in the postseason, I see him giving a little more concentration to the runner at first base.
Jeter's not going anywhere. O'Neill hits it to the opposite field, and Gerald Williams tucks it away. The throw almost got away on the return to the infield, but Klesko alertly is there to pick it up to keep Jeter from advancing.
Well, it was a routine fly ball to left field. And here's Gerald Williams' throw back rather wide of second base, but good back up there by Klesko. Gerald a little excited out in left field.
Everybody's a little excited.
You're right. Everyone but you, Bob. I know that you were not that excited. You're a normal Seth.
If you don't have an extra adrenaline rush when it comes time for the World Series, they better check your pulse.
Bob, I think Bernie Williams is the key batter, whether he's hitting left-handed or right-handed for this lineup. He's the guy in the middle that keeps things going. And at the top of the order, you have Jeter and Knobloch, who get on base a lot. He becomes the guy, I think, for the Yankees. And he hasn't had a good World Series the last couple of times out. So it'd be important for him to get off to a good start this year.
In fact, in his two World Series, 96 and 98, Bernie Williams is 5 for 40. Last year, even though they swept the Padres, he had just one hit in the 4 games. And he takes a strike. If you're wondering about Maddux, moving up from Game 2 to Game 1 with the illness of Tom Glavine, he has plenty of rest. His last start was Sunday's Game 5 of the LCS at Shea Stadium, so he's working on 5 days rest. He pitched 7 innings in that game last Sunday. Inside corner, 0-2.
Most of the people had success with Bernie Williams by staying away from him when he's hitting left-handed. Maddux goes away on the first pitch, but look at this. Fastball on the inside corner. That keeps him honest. And that's what you'll see from Greg Maddux. In, out, up and down.
A pitch out, but Jeter remains anchored at first.
Good pitch out on that play. I thought he was going to. He got a good lead, and he may have read the pitch out. But the reason I say it was a good pitch out, because you let the Yankees know that you will pitch out in certain situations when you're ahead in the count.
Jeter stole 19 for the year. He was caught 8 times. He goes on the 1-2 pitch. Here's the throw from Perez. He steals it.
Good move by Joe Torre. I believe You send him because you have 2 strikes on Bernie Williams. And if he makes it, he's in scoring position. If he doesn't, you have Bernie Williams leading off. And you see Jeter got a great jump off of Maddux. And the throw wasn't there nearly in time. Actually, a good pitch for Perez to throw on. He bounces it, but Jeter beats the throw anyway.
As the count goes to 2-2 on Bernie Williams. Just missed the inside edge, and the count is full.
Greg Maddux has his out pitch a lot of times against left-handed pitchers. He starts the ball off the plate inside, and then it moves back over the inside corner. Acts almost like a screwball. That one didn't get back enough.
Bernie asks for time. Tino Martinez waiting on deck. All the arms in the Atlanta outfield are good arms, but Jeter runs very well, and with 2 outs, he'll be off with a crack of the bat.
Good
slice
pitch.
Foul.
That was a good pitch by Maddux, and that's what they want to do. If they can stay away from Bernie Williams, they don't figure he's going to hurt them badly. And you keep him honest by going inside, as he did on the 2-2 pitch. Now this one is moving away, and you see a defensive swing here by Bernie Williams. He's not really attacking the ball. See, that's just a defensive swing because Maddux made a good pitch.
And he struck him out to end the Yankee first. Busted him inside. Williams wanted to know if it was a strike. He swings and misses, and the Braves are coming up.
Frogs do not have the active response system, and it shows. Only the Alero has the active response system. 16 features working together to connect you to the road. Frog, without the active response system. Alero, with the active response system. Alero, by Oldsmobile. Start something.
Excuse me, sir. Forgot your receipt.
Checkout lines. Who needs them? This is the future of e-business.
Have a nice day.
So what will happen to all this now that you're going virtual?
We're not going virtual.
I read you're getting into internet trading, online cash management.
Well, we are, yeah.
The end of an era.
Not at all. Online trading and the rest of it are simply new tools we're making available.
You don't have to sugarcoat it for me, but I must tell you I'm going to miss our little chats.
Nelson, I'm not going away. The office isn't going away.
The coffee? The ticker?
Not going away.
What about the little bull?
Not going away.
Good.
Brewing is really both an art and a science. Our ability to control different parts of the process with science is critical. But our ability to taste product and to understand what a different variety of hop, what different varieties of barley will do to the absolute flavor, and to blend ingredients that change year over year is the actual true art of brewing.
As we look at the Atlanta lineup, for all of his success over his first 2 years in the major leagues, El Duque has not done well against the Braves. He has 2 career starts against them because of interleague play. As you see, Ryan Klesko has owned him. And Hernandez is 0-2 against the Braves with an ERA in those 2 games of 9.72.
There you see the numbers for El Duque on the season. And the thing that makes him tough is that he runs the ball away from some left-handed hitters and then on them. He uses both sides of the plate, and he has an excellent changeup. And I think that's the key to his success, the changeup and staying down tonight. And we take a look at the defense behind him. Chuck Knobloch, 26 errors at second base. That's quite a few. Contrast that with 13 by Brett Boone of the Braves, and even further, Edgardo Alfonso of the Mets only made 5. So right at the top, and he's had a lot of problems with his throws. He had 13, I think, 14 errors on ground balls and 12 on throws, so that's a little difficult there.
If the Yankees take a lead late in the game, it had been Joe Torre's plan to replace Knobloch for defense with Luis Sojo. But Sojo, as we told you during the pregame show, has returned home to Venezuela for his father's funeral. The Yankees are without him for the first 2 games. The commissioner denied their request to add a player to the roster under this special circumstance. So Torre is playing with 24 men the first 2 games and expects Sojo back on Tuesday at Yankee Stadium. Gerald Williams to start it. Ball 1. Williams was in a 1-for-21 dive until he doubled off Kenny Rogers to start the 11th inning of Game 6 Tuesday night and eventually scored the pennant-winning run. A ball and a strike.
I talked to Gerald before the ballgame, Bob, and he says his team doesn't look at him like a leadoff hitter. They do not want him to go up and take a lot of strikes. They want him to jumpstart the offense by getting a base hit. So he is a little more aggressive than your normal leadoff hitter would be.
He's a former Yankee. Dealt from the Bronx to Milwaukee in 1996, just before the good stuff started for the Yanks. Struck him out to start the Atlanta first.
And El Duque gets him with a high slider away, sidearm. Let's take a look at the scouting report on El Duque. A lot of different angles, slow curves to right-handers, and he's best when he's pitching inside to left-handed hitters. Klesko hit 2 home runs on breaking balls in Yankee Stadium. We'll see if he attacks him inside tonight. I think he has to throw the fastball inside to left-handed hitters.
And a called strike to Brett Boone, who hit .252 for the season. A ball and a strike. There is some dispute, as we mentioned earlier in the playoffs, about Orlando Hernandez's actual age. He'd prefer to have you believe he's 30. Most folks say he's 34. 1-2. But the key is, even though this is just his second year in the major leagues, he pitched in the biggest games in his native country of Cuba. He was the #1 pitcher there for a long time. He pitched in playoff and championship games there. He's used to pitching when the pressure is on. He drops down sidearm and misses high. I thought Joe Buck put it well during the American League Championship Series. He said the guy who got off the boat and joined the Yankees was a finished product, not a rookie. And he begins the game with 2 strikeouts.
When he throws from so many angles, it is very difficult to pick the ball up as quickly as you'd like as a hitter. And that's what is happening so far. Had Gerald Williams chased the high slider out of the strike zone, he drops down to Boone and throws him a good fastball. Boone picks it up late, and he becomes a second strikeout victim.
Now he has to deal with Chipper Jones. Chipper hit 45 home runs during the regular season, most ever by a switch hitter other than Mickey Mantle. He's yet to connect in the playoffs. Foul back, 1-1.
He hasn't hit a home run in 1 month, Bob. That was, he hit a home run against the New York Mets. He had 4 in the 3-game series here they had in early September. It's interesting they're having a conversation here, because if you're going to try to get Chipper Jones out with a fastball, usually you like to go inside. He left both pitches out over the plate, and I think he wants to talk to Posada about maybe throwing him a few change-ups or something off speed just to see how he reacts.
Chipper's 2 for 5 in his career with a homer against El Duque. Just off the outside corner, 2-1. It's a chilly night here, 49 degrees, wind chill 31. Inside 3-1. October 23rd is the latest start date ever for the World Series. Brisk wind blowing, as you can see. Jones sitting on a 3-1 pitch and fouling it back. There has never been a World Series game played later than October 28th. If this one goes 7, the last game is scheduled for Halloween. The payoff pitch. He struck out the side. Williams and Boone swinging. Chipper Jones looking.
There comes a point when one more word will ruin the story. When one more step will spoil the dance. When one more flower will crowd the arrangement. There comes a point when anything more is simply more. Park Avenue by Buick. Tasteful, elegant, refined. And right now, get the new Park Avenue with these two very attractive features. It's luxury, pure and simple.
This is my daddy. He's a Gemini man. He fixes cars. He can fix anything. People like my dad. He says it's because they trust him.
Gemini Automotive Care, only where you see this sign.
Small business software, $400. Letterhead, $610. Office supplies, $90. Remembering who you work for, priceless. MasterCard Business Bonuses lets you earn miles good on any airline, no blackouts. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard Business Card.
Between every milestone are moments we share together. Now at McDonald's, we're saluting the Walt Disney World Millennium Celebration. Commemorate this momentous event with 4 special edition sculpted glasses. Where can you start celebrating the millennium?
What do you want for your children? Better world? A larger life? At American General Financial Group, we help 12 million Americans build a life large enough to hold their children's dreams. With retirement services, investments, life insurance, and consumer loans. At American General, the future starts today. American General Financial Group. Live the life you've imagined.
NBC's coverage of the 1999 World Series is brought to you by American General Financial Group. Live the life you've imagined. By AT&T One Rate 7-cent Plan. One simple rate all day, every day. And by Park Avenue by Buick. Luxury, pure and simple.
A shot of Centennial Park from the Goodyear blimp. Stars and Stripes, based in Pompano Beach, Florida. At the controls is pilot Dick Esch. This ballpark, of course, was the Olympic Stadium before being converted for baseball to Turner Field. The last time these teams met in the World Series in 1996, they were the last baseball games played at Fulton County Stadium. The Yankees won all 3 of them. They dropped the first 2 at Yankee Stadium, then came south and won games 3, 4, and 5. Tino Martinez against Maddux. The Yankees, in fact, have an 8-game World Series winning streak going. The last 4 in '96 and then 4 straight a year ago against the Padres. Two and 0. Down low, and Maddux falls behind Martinez. 3 balls and no strikes.
And Bob, if you're a Braves fan, maybe it's a good omen that Greg Maddux starts tonight. He started in '95 when they won their World Championship. He beat Cleveland 3-2 on opening night.
He walks Martinez on 4 pitches to start the Yankees' second.
Very unusual for Maddux, especially to a leadoff hitter. But you can see he threw a lot of pitches with a lot of movement. I think he was trying to get Martinez to chase one, and he wouldn't. A lot of movement on those first three fastballs he threw. And this is un-Maddux-like as well. 11 strikes, 9 balls, and 20 pitches.
First one to Posada, a double play ball to Boone. He flips to Weiss for 1, on to first, and they turn it 4-6-3.
When Maddux is at his best, he gets a lot of ground balls. And he will always get you the ground ball when he has runners on base. That's how he comes out of any jam that he might find himself in early in the ballgame. See that ball sinking down and away? Posada tries to pull it. Perfect. 4 to 6 to 3.
So you throw 4 bad ones to Martinez, but 1 good one to Posada takes care of the mess. Here's the left fielder, Ricky Leday. As a rookie last year, he went 6 for 10, including 3 doubles in the World Series against San Diego. He would not have played tonight had Glavine started. Chad Curtis would have been in left. A high fly ball, shallow left field. Williams in and toward the line to complete the New York second. No score after 1.5. Game 1.
A David in a world of Goliaths. Chevy Malibu. With an awesome V6 standard, it has power you can depend on. Chevy Malibu will be there.
Okay, let's take another call for our expert. We've got Ed in Cleveland on the line.
You guys are way off. That sector's trending up, and with overseas support and strong earnings, it's an obvious buy recommendation. Consumer confidence is strong. Excuse me. I'm on TV.
I don't care. Take out the garbage.
The whole world can hear you.
Take it out.
I'm analyzing securities.
It's time for E-Trade, the #1 place to invest online.
In this city,
Taxi!
in this cab, a serial killer hunts his prey.
Stop this car!
I want you to work the case with us. Tell me what you see.
It's a bloody bone. It's footprints.
Amelia?
Hello? Hello?
The Bone Collector joins Silence of the Lambs and Seven as one of the great thrillers of the decade.
I hear something. I hear something.
You there?
Hello?
The Bone Collector. Rated R. Opens November 5th.
3 motorcycles passed here. 3 men, 2 women. All carrying Visa cards.
How
do you know that, grandfather? Because Central Oz Motorcycle Adventures doesn't take.
American Express.
Central Oz will take you to a place beyond your imagination that they won't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
What if there was a bridge that could take you anywhere you wanted to go? There is. It's called American Airlines. And every day it stretches out, connecting people to over 250 cities around the world. So no matter where you have to go, you'll always know how to get there. Just take the bridge. American Airlines, your bridge to the world.
Number 33.
Very few Braves games during the course of a season are played in weather conditions like this. It's downright cold for Game 1. Ryan Jordan, Ryan Klesko, Andrew Jones in the bottom of the second against Orlando Hernandez, who struck out the side in the first.
And Bob, a scouting report that they give you on a pitcher sometimes can hurt you the first time through the order. I guarantee you they told him that El Duque throws a lot of curveballs and changeup. He came right out with the fastball and retired 3 straight hitters, struck them all out. He's used his fastball more than they probably said he would in the scouting report.
And he falls behind Jordan 3-0. In the Monday LCS clincher at Fenway Park, Hernandez threw 138 pitches, his highest pitch count of the season. Working tonight on 4 days rest. Called strike, 3-1.
And he doesn't want to walk Jordan leading off the inning because Ryan Klesko is next, and he's had a lot of success against El Duque.
You deal in understatement, my friend. 5 for 5 with 2 home runs. The 3-1. Hit in the air to right center field. O'Neill for the catch. Here's a look at some of the damage Ryan Klesko did at Yankee Stadium off El Duque. As Joe mentioned earlier, both were curveballs, and he jumped on them.
And we'll see how he pitches him here in this ballpark.
Down low for a ball. I'm reminded with Paul O'Neill making the catch on Brian Jordan's line drive, the last ball he caught in the postseason in Atlanta ended Game 5 of the '96 World Series. Out of play with runners at first and third in the bottom of the ninth of a 1-0 game, and the series tied 2-2. John Wetland trying to finish it, and Luis Polonia smacked one to right, and O'Neill made a fine running catch to end the game and send the Yankees home with a 3-2 lead. Then they won Game 6. 2 balls and a strike.
One thing that El Duque is doing very well tonight, he's using both sides of the plate, whether it be for a left-handed hitter or a right-handed hitter.
And Klesko hits it deep to right, but not deep enough. O'Neill will take it.
And that's the pitch that he needs to be effective against left-handed pitching. Fastball in, and he jams Klesko.
Number 25.
Hides the ball very well, 3/4, and he gets in on his hands. It was in a good location almost for Klesko, but not quite out over the plate enough, and he jammed him. And O'Neill is able to make the catch.
First time Hernandez has ever retired Klesko. Now he faces Andrew Jones and starts him with ball 1. That one's in there. Jones is homerless in the postseason after hitting 26 in the regular year. 2 of them in July at Yankee Stadium. He lays off. They want to check it first, and no, he didn't go around.
One of the things that Jones wants to do is make sure he gets a good pitch to hit a strike. He will go out of the zone a lot of the times. That pitch is out of the strike zone, but he's able to check.
He drops down sidearm, and Jones fouls it back. Now the 2-2. And that'll make the seats.
And that's what the Yankees will try to get Jones to do, is go out of the strike zone. That pitch was up and out of the strike zone, but Jones with 2 strikes chases it. El Duque throwing a lot of fastballs. I mentioned this one's up out of the zone. You see Andrew takes a hack at it.
And he hangs in there at 2-2. With nobody on base, Orlando Hernandez is working at a much brisker pace than we usually see him work. But when he gets in a jam, he's very deliberate. Another foul. Hernandez with that very distinctive scissor kick delivery. He kicks that left leg so high he could plant a kiss on his knee if he wanted to.
That helps him to hide the ball, especially from right-handed hitters.
Good battle between Hernandez and Jones.
When he kicks up real high, now watch, this is what the hitter sees. Nothing but knees. That's all you see as a hitter. You can't find the ball. And it lets him hide the ball a long time, and you only find it once he gets it out in front of him.
Another 2-2 pitch. Full count to Andrew Jones. Just as it was on Tuesday night when his patience paid off and he got the pennant-winning walk from Kenny Rogers.
Straight over the top curveball, overhand curveball, something that he doesn't throw very often to right-handed hitters. He'll do that to left-handed hitters, but not very often will he throw a a right-hander an overhand curveball.
Here's the 10th pitch of Andrew Jones at bat. And Jones wins the battle, drawing a 2-out walk.
And that was a very good at-bat for Jones in that he showed the Yankees that he's going to have more patience here in the World Series than maybe had throughout the season. And Don Baylor has talked to him all during the season. Hey, you need to be more patient. Make them give you a pitch to hit. Don Baylor is also credited with Chipper Jones hitting for more power from the right side. He said he made him more aggressive, swinging a little harder and getting better results from the right side.
And all these Atlanta hitters will be without Baylor next year. He'll have his choice from at least a few offers to manage. Cubs, Brewers, Angels, Indians, all said to have at least some interest in Don Baylor. Now Eddie Perez, the MVP of the National League Championship Series. He went 10 for 20 with 2 home runs against the Mets. This after a .249 regular season with just 7 homers.
El Duque works at holding runners tight because, you know, when he has his high leg kick, you feel like you can steal a lot of bases on him. But he actually releases the ball pretty quickly to the plate, and he concentrates on keeping you close at first base.
Jones gets back. Among the Yankee starters, only Andy Pettit is truly effective at holding runners, and he has one of the best pickoff moves in the majors. Pettit is the starter for Game 3.
And the Braves did have a lot of success against the Mets in the LCS.
Look at his eyes.
18 for 22.
He bluffs the go, and time was called before the delivery.
One of the things that El Duque will do to stifle the runners at first base is he'll hold the ball a little longer. And when you do that, sometimes the hitter gets anxious, and that's why Perez called timeout. But he varies his delivery time. He'll hold it one time. Next time up, he'll just go right to the pit, his chest, and throw the ball to the plate.
Now he comes home, and it's up and in. There was a time when Eddie Perez was just known as Greg Maddux's personal catcher. Javi Lopez was the regular otherwise, but then at midseason, Lopez went down with a knee injury, and Perez became the regular guy. American League Championship Series MVP delivering to the NLCS MVP. And a called strike, 1-1. Perez is 31 years old, spent 9 years in the minors before being called up in 1995. He's never gone back. Game of cat and mouse with Andrew Jones edging away from first. Not going, and Perez is way out in front, 1-2.
This is the pitch that El Duque is famous for. He drops down and throws a sidearm breaking ball, and Perez just chases it way out in front, and the ball is way off the plate. That's a very deceptive pitch if you're a right-handed hitter.
Here's the 1-2, and time again was called at the last instant.
And Hernandez very upset with this one because he felt like he didn't hold it as long as he did before, and he was about to release the ball, and that the umpire called timeout rather late.
As we told you, as soon as someone gets on base, El Duque's pace becomes about as deliberate as any pitcher in the major leagues. 1-2 pitch, hit deep to left, down the line, and in the seats foul.
Let's take a look at this last pitch. El Duque dropping down a lot on Perez. That ball's caught the outside corner. Perez hits it down the line, but it goes foul. If you're a base runner, anytime a pitcher drops down to throw sidearm, he gives you a little more time to run than he does when he throws from 3/4.
And another 1-2 pitch, but first Jones has to dive back again. Andrew Jones on the brink of stardom, still only 22 years old, leads away from first with 2 out. not going. And Perez goes down on strikes. The 4th K put in the book through 2 innings of work by El Duque. No score after 2 at Turner Field.
Okay, with AT&T's new one-rate 7-cent plan, now your calls all day, every day are just 7 cents a minute.
Yeah? What about those nickel plans?
Okay, it's not always a nickel.
It's not.
During the day, that nickel can cost you a quarter.
Making it no longer a nickel.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, but with AT&T, it's simple.
It's always 7 cents a minute.
24 hours a day?
Yes.
Every day?
Yes.
7 days, 7 cents?
Yes.
Do you want to explain it to him again?
I don't.
All day, every day. Call 1-800-41-RATE to enroll.
So what's on for today?
Boss wants you, me, and Charlie to take the new Silverado and move them bales.
Is that Charlie?
Chevy Silverado has the most powerful V8 of any 4x4 pickup.
Then we gotta water the herd.
300 horses make it more powerful.
If there's any daylight left, we'll take Norm up to see the ladies.
More powerful than Ford and Dodge. That's why it's the truck. Silverado from Chevy.
Well, guess that's enough for today.
You and I, we may never be on a first-name basis. But at some ungodly moment, I may be the most important person in your life. It's my telephone number you'll look for. It's my voice you'll want to hear at that dark hour. I know what happens to people at those moments. I know they can be frozen with fear. They think their lives will never be in one piece again. But I know what it takes to put lives back together. I'm ready for that moment the phone rings. That's what I'm here for. Don't get me wrong, I don't like trouble. I just love making it go away. You're in good hands with Allstate. Mine.
NBC invites you on a magical adventure where a forbidden love
Families are gonna fight each other.
starts an epic battle that threatens everything. Leprechauns, NBC Sunday in 2 weeks. And log on to NBC.com for your chance to win the Kodak Pot of Gold sweepstakes.
Welcome back. Jim Gray, not in Hotlanta tonight. You're looking at a heater in the Yankee dugout. Turner Field doesn't have any heaters. They've never needed any heaters, but it's below freezing with the wind chill factor tonight. So this afternoon, the superintendent of Turner Field went out and rented a bunch of heaters tonight. They didn't want to buy them because they don't feel they'll ever need them again, but the weather forecast, Bob, is for cold temperatures again tomorrow, and they certainly need them tonight. Up to you.
Jim, thanks a lot. A ball and a strike to Brocious. Well, everything has its price. When you expand the playoffs without shortening the regular season, when all the games are played at night for a larger primetime audience, you're going to get some games played under weather conditions as you move to late October that are less than ideal. Hit toward the hole, an opposite field single for Brocious to start the Yankee third.
It's a high fastball from Maddux, and we talked earlier his need to stay down in the strike zone. This is a high fastball. Brocious, good high fastball hitter, goes the other way with it. Good hitting there by Brocious.
And now up comes El Duque, who of course seldom bats, being in the American League, but in interleague play this year, he was 1 for 3. The one hit was an infield single. We'll see how good a bunter he is. He squares and gets it down in front of the plate. Chipper Jones picks it up. Good sacrifice by Hernandez.
Well, you wouldn't want to teach your young players to bunt like this. He kind of stabs at it, but it makes a good stab, and he gets the job done. And watch this. He kind of stabs at it. That's not the way you bunt. You stick the bat out and try to catch it, but any way to get the job done, and El Duque does the job.
In a sacrifice situation, isn't it true, Joe, you're supposed to almost be pulling the bat back toward yourself slightly, like you're catching the ball to deaden it on the bunt?
Yeah, you're supposed to try to catch the ball on the barrel of the bat, and kind of punched at it, but again, if it works.
We're not arguing with the results, so Brocious is in scoring position with 1 out. Here's Knobloch, who fly to right to start the game. On the first pitch, he chops one foul, Behind the bag, Klesko gloved it, but a foul ball.
Let's take a look at Knobloch here. He gets a high fastball as Brocious did. Tries to go the other way, but he gets it fouled. Pitch again up from Maddux. Knobloch late on it. Hits fair and bounces foul before it gets to first base.
Knobloch, the 91 American League Rookie of the Year with the Twins, played on the Minnesota team that beat the Braves in the World Series that fall. Foul to the seats. When you talk about this team of the decade stuff, you have to take it with a grain of salt. It's really about franchise of the decade. Only 2 Braves remain from their first World Series team in '91, Glavine and Smoltz. And in fact, there are only 7 Atlanta Braves even left from the team 3 years ago that lost to the Yankees, and only 12 Yankees return from that World Championship team of '96. A liner to center. Andrew Jones closing ground on it, makes the catch. So maybe the mythical trophy should go to the organization of the decade, huh?
Well, I think that's basically what you're saying, is that it's the franchises themselves that have kept these teams at the top of their game. But the one thing to remember about the Braves is that the nucleus of their ball club is still together, and it's always been their pitching staff, their starting pitchers. And Maddux, Glavine, Smoltz, and at one time Steve Avery.
If the question is sustained excellence, it's already case closed.
Right.
The team of the decade is the Atlanta Braves, but the Yankees have a chance to win their 3rd world title in 4 years and to do it twice at Atlanta's expense. Here's Jeter, single and stole a base in the first.
Well, do you measure it by games won in the decade, or do you measure it by championships won? And I think that's the key. Jeter single on a fastball out over the plate in the first inning. Maddux tried to get that fastball in on him, and he fouls it out of play.
Brocious at second with 2 down. That one's low, a ball and a strike.
When Jeter first came up, he would swing at a lot of bad pitches. He chased pitches, especially up and in, low and away off the plate. Now he makes sure he gets a good pitch to hit every time he goes to the plate.
That's how you hit .349. One of the 3 great shortstops gracing the American League now. You can throw in Omar Vizquel at a different stage of his career, especially for the glove, but I'm thinking Garcia Parra, Rodriguez, and Jeter. Fastball up and in, 2-1.
That was a purpose pitch. He wanted to throw that fastball tailing in to let Jeter know that he can't lean out over the plate, because Maddux feels probably that his best pitch is a sinker away from Jeter if he wants to get him out. Like that.
Bouncing ball to Boone. As sure-handed as they come, and he throws him out. To the bottom of the 3rd, no one's broken through yet in Game 1.
Top, he come grooving up slowly. He got choo-choo eyeball. He want holy roller. He got hair down to his knee. Got to be a joker. He just do what he please. Yes.
More reliable, higher quality, faster, more profitable. Nortel Networks is building the new high-performance internet, and it can be whatever you want it to be. So tell us, what do you want the internet to be?
Come together right now over me.
5 things to consider about the Chevy Impala. It's new. It starts under $20,000. It's designed, engineered, and built to be carefree. It's at your Chevy dealer now. It's received the highest frontal crash rating possible. 5 stars from the federal government. The new Chevy Impala. As USA Today put it, it's a lot more car than you imagine, at a lower price than you expect. The new Chevy Impala.
Let's go for a drive. Someday there will be no subways or corporate ladders to climb. If retirement is a bridge to be crossed when we get there, then we must accept whatever lies ahead of us. If it is one we must build, then let us begin.
Belmont winner Lemon Drop Kid faces America's #1 thoroughbred Barons in the Classic. 8 championship races on racing's richest day. The Breeders' Cup in 2 weeks on NBC.
Sunday, the dramatic and action-packed Bikeford, plus spectacular 6-man street luge and more. The Gravity Game, Sunday at 4 Eastern on NBC.
Shortstop, number 22.
Looking around Turner Field, it's 335 down the line and left, 380 to the gap in left center, 400 to straightaway center field, deeper to right center, 390, and 330 down the line and right. Generally speaking, the ball carries pretty well from the lines toward the gaps, but from gap to gap, it does not carry well here at all. Walt Weiss starts it in the bottom of the 3rd, and that one floats in there for strike 1. That 2nd inning included a 10-pitch battle with Andrew Jones, who waited him out for a walk, hence the total of 24. He gets ahead of Weiss, 0-2.
That's the pitch that makes him so effective against left-handed pitching. The fastball in, because you have to be conscious of that pitch, and then he throws you a slow curve or a changeup away, and you're automatically a little bit out in front because you're protecting against the inside fastball.
One and 2. Weiss hit just .226 during the regular season. A bit better than that in the playoffs, and he's a good glove man. Jose Hernandez and Ozzie Guillen are among those on their bench, both of whom can play shortstop. 2-2.
Both Ozzie Guillen and Jose Hernandez contributed to the Braves LCS championship.
Hernandez with a big pinch hit in Game 6. Got him looking for his 5th strikeout.
Let's take a look at the pitch sequence here that he uses to Walt Weiss. A good overhand slow curve, fastball in on the hands. That opens up the outside. He misses, stays out there again. Now here's the strike 3 pitch. That's a beautiful curveball right around the knees.
A ball to Maddux, who's always been a good hitter. He's had higher averages than this year's 172. But perhaps taking his own advice from the commercial that chicks dig the long ball, he went deep twice this year. Leaving him only 60 plus behind McGuire and Sosa. Fouled off, 2-2. Joe Torre says that Orlando Hernandez reminds him of Juan Marichal, the great Dominican right-hander for the San Francisco Giants, with the wide repertoire of pitches and the command of all of them. Some guys can throw 5 or 6 different pitches, but they can only throw 2 or 3 of them for strikes. Not so with El Duque. Then when you throw in the deceptive delivery and the various arm angles, he's a nightmare, especially for right-handed hitters. I guess that missed, but I don't see how. Full count.
Well, El Duque started his walk toward the dugout. He thought it was strike 3.
That would have truly been premature, though. Since there's only one out, here's the 3-2. Well, he finishes him with the next one. He struck out 6 of the first 9 hitters he's faced. And folks, you can log on to MSNBCSports.com as the Reds' Barry Larkin provides constantly updated analysis of the key plays and strategy in tonight's game. You can also exchange email with Barry during the game and access TotalCast for a real-time box score and visual graphic on the location of each pitch. MSNBCSports.com, the official website of NBC Sports. Williams bluffs the bunt and takes the strike. Exchange email with Barry Larkin. Dear Barry, do you like Cincinnati? Do you stay there in the offseason? Where are you staying in Atlanta? Strike 2.
Bob, El Duque is throwing much better tonight than what we saw him throw in the opening game of the division series against the Texas Rangers. He is very sharp tonight.
Is he ever? He strikes out the side for the second time in 3 innings. 7 for the game.
Oh my God.
A co-ed murdered, superstar athletes accused.
You got away with one before.
A secret tradition exposed. All new Law & Order Special Victims Unit, NBC Monday.
Just because I'm retired doesn't mean my investment shouldn't keep growing. That's why I have Oppenheimer funds. I have a lot of living yet to do.
Oppenheimer funds, the right way to invest.
Whoops. Not again. Whoopsie-daisy. Whoopsie-daisy. Oh, no. Whoopsie-daisy. Whoopsie-daisy. Don't scratch on my side. Whoopsie-daisy.
Sometimes the greatest challenge for an SUV isn't going off-road, but staying on. The M-Class, the only SUV that drives like a Mercedes.
Alone on a desolate road, a runner searches for her soul, her spirit, and her sneakers. Seems our distribution plans didn't anticipate a foreign crisis. Who could have helped?
Aon, ensure your vision.
Whoa! NHL 2000! Got it?
Yeah, we got it, Twinkle Toes, and just about any other video game, movie, or CD you can name. Checkout.com. Check it out. Maybe the mall's not the best place for you. Check out music, movies, and games from the comfort of your own inner space. Checkout.com. Check it out.
I think it's important to diversify, so I talked to a financial advisor. I learned that there was more opportunity in bond funds than I ever realized.
Oppenheimer funds, the right way to invest.
Win big. Watch Instant Replay with Fred Rogan tonight right after the game.
El Duque, razor sharp through his first 3 innings of work. Hasn't allowed the Braves a hit. Only one man has reached. Andrew Jones had a walk in the second. And he struck out 7. Greg Maddux set to face Paul O'Neill, Bernie Williams, and Tino Martinez in the 4th. Tomorrow night before Game 2 here at Turner Field, they'll unveil the all-century team as selected by a fan vote, supplemented by some additional selections from a panel of experts. O'Neill fouls it off. Greg Maddux just missed making that team. He was just beneath the cutoff in the fan vote. Roger Clemens, who with 5 Cy Youngs has 1 more than Maddux, and who will start Game 4 at Yankee Stadium for the Yanks. There he is. Clemens is on the all-century team. Threw it by O'Neill upstairs, 0-2.
Well, he threw a fastball away, and I think, watch O'Neill see if he starts out to get another fastball away. So he starts out there, and then Maddux releases a high fastball in, way out of the strike zone. Unusual for O'Neill. He doesn't swing at that many bad pitches.
He Fly to left his first time up. And Maddux dispatches him on 3 pitches.
Well, that's the screwball-like fastball we talked about earlier. He tried it on Bernie Williams in the first inning and wasn't successful. Now watch where this ball starts. It's way off the plate. Look at that, it's way inside. Then all of a sudden, look at it, it starts to move back toward the inside part of the plate. Beautiful pitch there. And that's the pitch that he uses so effectively against left-handed hitters.
O'Neill not happy. He, of course, familiar with Maddux from all of his years in the National League. And then there have been interleague games the past couple of years and the World Series of '96. 1-0 to Bernie Williams, who struck out to end the first, and he steps out of the box. Two balls and no strikes.
Bernie Williams is a very streaky type hitter. When he gets in a streak, I mean, he's very difficult to get out. So I think it's very important for the Braves to try to keep him down at least the first couple of ball games before he gets to Yankee Stadium, because he's the key to their offense.
He rips the 2-0 pitch into the glove of Ryan Klesko. That was blistered, but Klesko was right there.
And the good part, though, if you're the Braves, watch where the pitch is. Maddux keeps the ball down, which is what he wants to do. He gets this pitch up, and Bernie Williams probably would have hit it out of the ballpark. Gets the ball down, and he hits a line drive. If you're Maddux, you don't really care about the line drive. See, that ball's down, so he doesn't get it in the air. Nice play there by Klesko.
How much does a scorcher like that sting on a night like this, as chilly as it is?
It would hurt more if you were a regular fielder. He's got a big web in that glove.
Oh, that's true.
Base.
He's not using that little mitten that you used to use at second base.
Or any other infielder. But look at that big web. It's got plenty of room in there.
The 1-0 pitch to Tino Martinez. Goes the opposite way. Gerald Williams retreating, not quite to the track to take it. Maddux makes quick work of the Yankees in the fourth. Terrific duel shaping up between Maddux and El Duque.
Until now, there has been a wall between you and the tools of serious trading. That wall is coming down. Daytech Online. The information and technology professionals use to trade is now available to everyone. Daytech Online. The rules are changing.
Hi, I'm Doug Flutie, pro football player and father of an autistic child. I started the Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation to help less fortunate families of autistic children get the support they need. Here's a way you can help. Just dial 1010-220. All calls up to 20 minutes are only 99 cents, and 1010-220 will make a donation to the Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation every time you use it. So dial 1010-220, get up to 20 minutes for only 99 cents, and help some great kids at the same time. It's a win-win situation.
Chevy trucks are the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. And now, during Chevy Truck Month, get the driving security of a 2000 four-door Chevy Blazer with more standard horsepower than Ford Explorer and 2.9 APR financing or $1,500 cash back. During Chevy Truck Month, you'll find the biggest selection of the year on the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. Chevy trucks.
NBC's coverage of the 1999 World Series is brought to you by Keystone Light, America's never bitter beer, by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road, and by Daytech Online. The rules of online trading are changing.
Again, the view from the Goodyear Blimp Stars and Stripes. Goodyear currently maintains a fleet of 7 blimps, 3 domestic and 4 international operations. and a look at the way El Duque has been operating in the postseason. He is hanging out now with some of the great names in baseball history, including his own teammate Mariano Rivera, but all of that is out of the bullpen, of course. That's his updated career ERA, 0.90 in the postseason, a fraction better than Sandy Koufax. But of course, all of Koufax's postseason appearances were World Series games only. El Duque has the Division Series, the LCS, and now the Fall Classic. 1-1 to Brett Boone.
And Bob, the first game we saw him pitch in postseason this year was against the Texas Rangers. He got by that night on just his guile and knowing how to pitch. Tonight, he's not only getting by with his guile, but he has great stuff. He's got a great fastball that's live and moving. He has a very sharp curveball. In fact, he's throwing fewer changeups than you expect because he has such good stuff. He has such a good live fastball. He's not using his changeup nearly as much as you anticipate.
And he fans Brett Boone for the second time tonight. He's faced 11 hitters, and 8 of them have struck out. Let's go to Craig Sager.
Well, the Braves are now in the second time around in the order against Hernandez. Like a basketball coach during a timeout, hitting coach Don Baylor huddled each one up and went over what happened the first time they were up. And as Joe Morgan pointed out, it was fastballs. Chipper looked at a fastball for strike 3. Don Baylor said, take some pitches, make some adjustments. Bob?
First one to Chipper, down and in. Perhaps it's not too early to mention the World Series record for strikeouts in a game. 17. Bob Gibson in 1968 for the Cardinals. Chipper Jones gets under one. It's a question of fair or foul. Down the line. Gone! The first hit off El Duque is Chipper Jones' first home run of this postseason.
And Bobby did make an adjustment. Remember, the first time up, he struck him out with a fastball in. He had set him up better, but what does Chipper Jones do? He looks for a fastball in. That's where a hitting instructor is so valuable, telling you to go up there and make adjustments to how they got you out the first time up. And Chipper made an adjustment and drilled the fastball out of the ballpark.
A towering fly ball. And a 1-0 Atlanta lead. Strike 1 to Brian Jordan. Exactly a month since he last touched one off. Brian Jordan, who once played for Yankee manager Joe Torre in St. Louis, flied to right his first time up. 2-1.
It's always interesting to see how a pitcher reacts after a guy hits a home run.
Brian Jordan drives one to right. Paul O'Neill is back there to take it. Another look at the ball that Chipper Jones jacked out of here.
And remember, he struck him out with a fastball inside the first time up. He goes inside again, even though he wasn't supposed to. And Chipper Jones ready for the fastball inside, and he's able to keep it fair down the right field line. And he gives the Braves a 1-0 lead.
Now Ryan Klesko, who flied to right in the second. Broken bat comebacker. El Duque to Martinez. But the Braves are on the board first. Chipper Jones, the likely National League MVP, gives them a 1-0 lead after 4. It sounded good. It looked good. It's on the board. 1-0 Atlanta.
Meet Carlos Sandoval, veteran Navy SEAL, trained to go through anything, equipped to survive it. Introducing the Chevy S10 Survival Pack. CD, automatic, air, aluminum wheels. Over $1,500 in savings and $1,250 cash back. You might think that could weaken a Navy SEAL. Fat chance. The Chevy S10 Survival Pack. Like a rock.
Well,
At least we made it halfway to Colorado.
Wait a minute. You thinking what I'm thinking? Beer. And I was gonna buy the first round.
First round of what? Dirt?
What's the matter, guys? Lost?
We're just looking for cold Coors Light, mister.
How about that canteen up the street?
This don't look good.
Grab some seats. I'll buy you a beer, too.
Coors Light.
Never figured it any other way.
Frost Brewed, Rocky Mountain Cold, Coors Light. Around these parts, you just can't make a better call.
You guys still heading to Colorado?
Feels like we're already there.
You know, you're just about right.
Yeah, let me get this straight.
Yes.
Are you actually saying I don't have to pay you a separate commission every time I trade a stock? Exactly. I'd pay an annual fee instead. Right. Is anyone getting
If
this?
we don't pay you a commission every time we trade, what's your motivation?
It's just like always, Ann, your best interest.
Could you just explain it again?
Maybe what it is the fee is based on the value of our portfolios. So when we succeed, they succeed.
You'll have to be patient with us. This is all very new.
This November, the biggest movie events are coming to NBC with the untold story seen through her eyes. Mary, Mother of Jesus. What if they're right? Y2K the movie. The network television premiere, Men in Black. And Sunday in 2 weeks, the magical legend of the Leprechauns. This November, the biggest movie events are on NBC.
Maddux staked to a slim 1-0 lead as we go to the 5th. Posada, Ledet, and Brocious due for the Yankees. Hard to imagine the Atlanta Braves winning this World Series without a major contribution from Chipper Jones. They got by the Astros and the Mets without Jones doing the sort of thing he did throughout the regular season. He homers in his second at-bat of this game. The bat is shattered. Boone scoops it up. Posada's retired.
Bob, this is what happens when pitchers make mistakes to good hitters. The pitch is supposed to be outside. Watch where it is. Inside. Chipper drills it down the line, and for a moment there it looked like it might go foul, as you see the ball there, but it stays on the fair side of the pole, and it's a home run. Now watch El Duque. He says, my fault. My fault. I was supposed to get the fastball away. I got it in. And that's what happens when you make good mistakes against good hitters.
6 umpires in postseason play. Jim Joyce of the American League on the right field line, right on top of it to make the close call, but the correct call. Ricky Ledet with a mile-high pop. Weiss, the wind's playing with it to the middle of the diamond, and finally he makes a one-handed catch. A swirling wind made that an adventure.
Well, we saw that earlier in the ball game. The wind is coming in. Looks like it's moving from the foul pole in left field towards the foul pole in right, but it must be swirling a lot on the infield. You see, Weiss thought it was going to be well out there on the infield dirt, and he ends up running in by the pitcher's mound, and he makes the catch. That was a big league pop-up, and the wind made it more difficult.
2 quick outs. Here's Brocious, who poked a single to right his first time up. Brocious, last year's World Series MVP. Had a huge postseason overall, batted nearly .400 with 4 homers. Came back to earth a bit this year, .247 with 17 home runs. Last year was the season of his life. He hit .300 and knocked in almost 100. 1-2.
And the one thing you have to notice with Greg Maddux tonight is that he has not thrown any curveballs and only a couple of sliders. He's throwing the fastball and changing speeds on the fastball.
That one's up the middle for a base hit, the second of the night for Scott Brocious.
Another fastball that he got up, not exactly where he wanted to throw it, and Brocious with 2 strikes grounded back through the middle for a base hit. But if you watch, he's just not throwing very many curveballs. See, that's a fastball that he wants to start off the plate and sink out there, but it didn't sink. It was up, and Brocious does a good job of grounding it back through the middle. Now watch Maddux. He's won Gold Gloves almost ever since he's been here in Atlanta, and he just barely misses that ball.
And if nothing else, it accomplishes this. It gets Hernandez out of the way and gets them to the top of the order for the 6th inning. Maddux, as a matter of fact, has won 9 consecutive Gold Gloves. Quickly ahead of El Duque, 0-2. We asked Joe Torre about Hernandez as a hitter. He described him as a whale and bail guy. I guess you bail first and whale second. He bails, he wails, he pokes it to second. Boone flips it to first, and the Yankees are done in the 5th. The Chipper Jones home run has Maddux and the Braves in front, 1-0.
Elevator to lobby. By George.
Contacts, $320. Treadmill, $800. Wonder Bra, $26. Facelift, $3,000. Being happy with who you are, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. Happily accepted most everywhere.
The most powerful V6 engine in its class. The most interior space in its class. Amenities that would surprise you in any class. For those seeking refuge from mediocrity and compromise, we offer the Sanctuary. Presenting the all-new Infiniti i30. It's all the best thinking.
There's my husband, Nolan Ryan. Still throwing heat. Can you believe he's got arthritis? You see, Nolan's doctor says the best way to control arthritis pain is to keep moving. And to make it easier, he recommends Advil. Nothing's been proven stronger on arthritis pain, yet it's gentle on his stomach. In fact, I take Advil for my arthritis pain. That way, we can exercise together.
Advil, stronger than pain.
As you might expect, Teller and I don't see eye to eye on investing. I like to avoid risk. Teller's a little more daring. We do, however, share the same new way to trade online.
Introducing PowerStreet by Fidelity, the first site with trading tools customized by Lycos to fit your life, your goals, your unique way of doing things.
Look, the market's up. Or, in your case, down.
PowerStreet Online Trading. Call or visit Fidelity.com to open an account.
NBA 2000, are you ready?
Get excited for a special Monday Friends.
It's like it's coming right at
me. Friends, plus an only Veronica NBC Monday.
The Braves won 103 games during the regular season. The Yankees, after the tremendous year in '98 when they won 114 and 125 if you count the postseason, slipped, if you can call it that, to 98 regular season wins. But they clearly were the 2 best teams in their respective leagues, and now they meet in a much anticipated World Series. 1-0 Braves, bottom of the 5th, game 1. Andrew Jones to face Hernandez. Called strike 1. Andrew walked his first time up. The nickname El Duque means, as you might guess, even if you don't speak Spanish, the Duke. Hit hard, but right into the glove of Brocious, who snares it at third.
It's a breaking ball that he leaves in the middle of the plate. He hasn't done this very often, and Andrew Jones rips it, but right at the third baseman, Brocious. Brocious, very good third baseman. He's ready for that one.
Here's Eddie Perez. Ground ball foul. Orlando Hernandez is actually the second El Duque. The first was his father, Arnaldo, who was, according to those in the know, kind of a middling player. Pitched some, played some infield in Cuba.
You see him directing traffic out there. He's telling the infield to move over, because I thought they were way off the line for a guy like Perez when they're going to throw him a lot of breaking balls and changeups. And El Duque said, hey, move over a little bit. Brosha still didn't move, but...
(0-2) to Perez. El Duque has some real presence about him. He's a charismatic guy. He's got that distinctive style. He's a high-kicking, high-pants-wearing son of a gun. The circumstances of how he got to the States, defecting the day after Christmas in '97, his background in Cuba, the fact that he doesn't have a full command of English yet, which keeps a distance between him and some of his teammates, it all adds to the mystique that surrounds him. Perez stays alive.
When you mentioned the mound presence, I thought about the other Cuban-born pitchers who have pitched in the Major League: Camilo Pascual, Luis Tiant, Mike Cuellar, and his brother Levon. All of them have a special presence when they stand on the mound. I mean, you keep your eyes on them the entire ball game.
And Perez strikes out for the second time, and that's 9 in 4 2/3 for Hernandez. Tomorrow night, you're not going to want to miss the World Series pregame at 7:30 Eastern as NBC Sports and MasterCard bring you the All-Century Team ceremony. Hank Aaron, Ted Williams, Willie Mays, they'll be among the living legends in attendance for that ceremony. The MasterCard All-Century Team tomorrow during the World Series pregame, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, only on NBC.
And the hammer, Hank Aaron, will throw out the first pitch.
And the biggest ovation should be his. It'll be interesting to see what kind of reception Pete Rose receives. I think it'll be overwhelmingly positive.
I think it would have to be, since he was voted on the team by the fans. So I think that, you know, most of the fans must have felt that he deserved to be here.
He was 9th among the 9 outfielders voted in by the fans. A 10th, Stan Musial, was added by the panel, somehow overlooked in the fan voting. What an outrage it would have been if Stan the Man was excluded. 1-2 to Walt Weiss. That one missed. 2-2. 17 or 18 of the 30 members of the All-Century Team are living. They are all expected to be here for what should be a goosebump-raising ceremony prior to Game 2. 2 out, nobody on. Braves lead at 1-0 in the last of the 5th. And a chopper down to Martinez. Covering is El Duque, and he works a perfect 5th inning. Back to Turner Field after this.
So what will happen to all this now that you're going virtual?
We're not going virtual.
Well, I read you're getting into internet trading, online cash management.
Well, we are, yep.
The end of an era.
Not at all. Online trading and the rest of it are simply new tools we're making available.
You don't have to sugarcoat it for me, but I must tell you, I'm going to miss our little chats.
Nelson, I'm not going away. The office isn't going away.
The coffee? The ticker?
Not going away.
What about the little bull?
Not going away.
Good.
We know advanced technology doesn't have to be complicated. That every product must be meaningful. And the end result will make you smile. Open up to Samsung Digital and keep in touch. Samsung Digital. Everyone's invited.
Oh boy, I got gotta tell you, this big New Yorker is the quintessential New York pizza.
This is what pizza is supposed to be. Dripping with so much cheese, you got to fold it to eat it.
And man, it is New York big. 16 inches across. How do I know so much about New York pizza? Because New York, I want to be your next senator.
The big New Yorker pizza from Pizza Hut. Big enough to feed all your constituents at a very un-New York price.
$9.99. What do I think this is? Hop and salt.
The big New Yorker pizza from Pizza Hut. Another one of the best pizzas under one roof.
Don't wish for it. Work for it. It's not a catchphrase to Dale. It's a way of life. That's why day in and day out, no one's more committed to getting the job done right. And what kind of a car does a man like Dale drive? Well, actually, he drives a tractor. But his son, a drummer in a local rock band, drives a Civic.
Well, with Luis Sojo unavailable for the first two games, Don Zimmer, who was an infielder, perhaps getting ready just in case they need him, or perhaps for luck, doing what he always does with Derek Jeter's bat in an inning in which Derek is scheduled to hit. You saw him hand it to the Yankee shortstop as he walked by. Jeter's on deck as Knobloch starts it in the sixth. Ball one from Maddux.
And a lot of little things have an effect on the outcome of a ball game. Last inning we saw Brocious get a base hit on 2 strikes. That allowed Hernandez to bat. And now you have the top of your order up here in the 6th inning. And that's exactly the way you set your lineup up, because that's what you want. But very rarely does a leadoff hitter get a chance to lead off an inning other than the 1st inning.
Joe Torre, who of course managed in the National League with the Mets, with these Braves, with the Cardinals. Broken back ground ball, backhanded by Chipper Jones across the diamond to get Knobloch.
Interesting change of strategy there by Maddux. I talked about the fact he hadn't been throwing many breaking balls, but he throws 2 here in this at bat. There you see that's a curveball from him to Chuck Knobloch. Knobloch pulls it. Chipper Jones near the line because he knows the breaking ball is coming. He's able to backhand it and to throw across the diamond to retire Knobloch for out number 1.
Jones had some problems with the glove earlier in the playoffs. Nice play there. Here's Jeter, who's 1 for 2. The Yankees have 3 hits against Maddux. The Braves have only 1 off El Duque, but it was a 4th inning homer by Chipper Jones. Tapped foul, a ball and a strike.
And you see the adjustment that Maddux has made. He's throwing more breaking balls now. Most of the guys are going up there looking fastball changeup. Now he's starting to throw more breaking balls. Jeter out in front.
Fastball in on his hands, and Maddux gets ahead of him 1-2.
That was a great pitch there. It looked like that ball really started to chase Jeter. He had to swing at it or get hit. Watch this pitch. The ball. Watch the rotation. Look at it. It's turning in and just running in on his hands. He has to fight it off just to keep it from hitting him, which opens up the outside corner, of course.
2-2. One of the perplexing things about facing Maddux is that he will throw any pitch on any count. Such is his command of his entire repertoire. The 2-2 to Jeter. Struck him out looking.
And the fastball that chased him was the one that set that pitch up there. Let's take a look at the pitch sequence. Fastball he thought was a strike. Off the plate. Way inside. Just off the plate. Now watch this. Just on the outside corner. Anytime you throw a fastball in and you jam a hitter, the hitter always tries to protect against that pitch coming in there again, and that always opens up the outside part of the plate. And no one does it better than Greg Maddux.
O'Neill is flied out and struck out.
And our scouting report on Maddux says he uses a lot of movement with his fastball because that's his main pitch. And all you have to do is just watch at home. You can see the movement on every pitch that he throws.
Down low, 2-0. Derek Jeter still trying to figure out what Maddux did to him. Derek, you have lots of company. He's had hitters shaking their heads for a decade. Two and one to O'Neill.
And you can just see the movement on that pitch. Watch where this pitch starts. It looks like a good pitch to hit. Starts to look like it's almost in the middle of the plate. Now watch the movement. It just really dives away at the last minute, and O'Neill ends up swinging at a bad pitch.
It's the late movement on so many of his pitches that's really a key. Called strike, perfect place, on the corner, 2-2. You know, it seems like Maddux has been around forever, yet he's only 33, and he's already won 221 career games, so he's got a shot at 300 before his career is over. Control like that is what's made him the pitcher he's been. O'Neill just taps it weakly. Maddux picks it up. He'll tag it himself, and he works a perfect sixth. To the bottom half, still 1-0.
This Millennium Moment is brought to you by American General Financial Group. A new home run record for Babe Ruth. No more can be said than has been said about this home run man. He is made of something that is Superman when it comes to elevating the ball in the air. His class is his own, and it begins with Babe and ends with Babe. That's the way it was covered when Babe Ruth hit his 60th home run. American General Financial Group. Live the life you've imagined.
What is the value of victory? What makes success so sweet? At American General, we help over 12 million people every day live the lives they've imagined. With retirement services, life insurance, consumer loans, and whether they have big dreams or little dreams, the real victory is seeing their dreams come true. American General Financial Group. Live the life you've imagined.
Introducing the new full-size Toyota Tundra. With the most stress-resistant frame in its class and over 2,000 pounds of available payload capacity, the Tundra is tough enough to do the work of some of the biggest trucks on Earth. And it's a lot easier to park. Introducing the new four-door Tundra. Have we gone too far, or have others not gone far enough?
My dad's had this store since I was a kid. Dad's motto was, the customer is always right. Never say no if you can help it. The problem was, pack of smokes, kids would try to buy cigarettes. You got an ID for those smokes?
Oh, come on.
It's illegal for me to sell them to anyone under 18. I have heard the lamest excuses.
Her dog ate my ID.
You did?
We need them for a school science project.
They're not for us. They're for my mom outside. Mom, I look young for my age.
But that all changed a few years ago when this We Card program started. Now there's no argument. I just point to the sign.
We're committed to keeping cigarettes out of kids' hands. That's why Philip Morris is a major sponsor of the We Card program. It has educated hundreds of thousands of retailers on how to recognize fake IDs and uphold the law. And it lets kids know exactly where we and retailers across the country stand.
I'm not alone when I say no, and that's a big help.
Working to make a difference. The people of Philip Morris.
Greg Maddux has a way of frustrating you as a hitter. Paul O'Neill, not a good swing, chops the ball down the first baseline. Now watch, Maddux comes over to tag him, and watch O'Neill's left elbow. He shoots it out, and I think O'Neill's saying here, hey, throw the ball to first base, don't tag me. A little frustration there from being dominated by Maddux in that at bat. I think a lot of hitters would have done that, though. You don't like to have a pitcher come over and tag you as you're running to first base.
Here is Maddux at the plate. 1-1 the count to him. All of the Atlanta starting pitchers are such good hitters. that they were vying to work the first 2 games so that they get a chance to bat. You go to Yankee Stadium with the DH and the bat is taken out of the pitcher's hands.
I'm not so sure that Maddux wants to run up there against El Duque, though, because he's dropping down and throwing an assortment of breaking balls.
I'm not so sure Ted Williams would want to run up there, although at least he hits left-handed. Maybe DiMaggio would be the better example. He's so tough on right-handed hitters. Coming up on NBC.
Monday, it's NBC's second great Law & Order series. Critics call it something special. How? Gripping and well-made. Don't miss an all-new Law & Order Special Victims Unit, NBC Monday.
The strikeout of Maddux was the 10th for El Duque. We're just in the 6th, and with 1 out, the hitter is Gerald Williams, who was fanned both times. Can't catch up with the fastball.
Well, he's been able to drill the outside part of the plate with the fastball. And if you're a right-handed hitter, when he drops down, you automatically give a little bit, and that opens up the outside corner for him.
From the sidearm angle, a little chopper up the line, and now it's Hernandez's turn to tag the batter runner.
That was a good play by Hernandez, because if he catches it and tries to throw over Gerald Williams, he may hit him as he's running down the line. So this shows how good an athlete Hernandez is. He feels his position well, but he's a great athlete. Watch this chopper. Watch it. Immediately he's off after the ball. This ball was going to go foul, but he doesn't let it go foul. He grabs it, and then he makes the tag. And watch this. This ball would have gone foul right here if he wouldn't have gotten to it so quickly. And Gerald Williams tries to avoid the tag, and you see El Duque put a 2-hand tag on it.
Both of tonight's pitchers are truly excellent fielders. They become, in effect, a 5th infielder after the delivery. I was speaking the other day with Roberto Gonzalez Echeverria, who is the Sterling Professor of Spanish and Portuguese literature at Yale, who wrote the book, the definitive book on Cuban baseball called The Pride of Havana. And he tells me that on a night like this in Cuba, many residents will fashion their own antennas to try to pull in the telecast of the game. And they'll certainly be listening to it on the radio. That this ball game tonight, with El Duque working, is the #1 focus of interest on the island of Cuba, the baseball-mad island of Cuba. Brett Boone fouls it back. He is struck out in each of his first 2 at-bats, and now he's in an 0-2 hole.
So much for El Duque being a warm weather pitcher, Bob. He pitched a great game against Cleveland in the cold weather last year, and he's pitching a great game tonight in the cold weather.
Wastes that one high and away.
The Yankees were trailing 2-1 in that series with Cleveland last year, and I thought his game was the most important game of the Yankee season.
Did Boone check his swing? He did. Posada was already trotting off, but it's 2-2.
Well, let's take a look. Watch the barrel of the bat. Don't watch his hands. Just watch the barrel of the bat. And you can see he kept the barrel under control.
He pokes this one to short. Jeter's got it and throws him out. 6 innings quickly gone by in Game 1, and a 1-0 Atlanta lead.
A forbidden love leads to an epic battle. Randy Quaid and Whoopi Goldberg lead an all-star cast. Leprechauns, NBC Sunday in 2 weeks.
What's your first order of business?
I think I'm gonna make a trade.
Phil Jackson arrived in LA today.
You got a wish list?
Dream team?
I'm still doing my research.
Did you just wake up, pal? I don't know who it's going to be.
You guys don't know anything about Phil Jackson. I drive him.
Hi, Mr. Jackson. So I heard about a trade?
Hot pager. That's probably him now. How you doing? I was just wondering if you could throw me a bone and just, you know anything about the trade?
I'm gonna make it right now.
TD Waterhouse, member New York Stock Exchange.
Make the call. Come on.
To help you remember 10-10-3-4-5 long distance, we're here with the number 3, 4, and 5 hitters of a very important major league team. Now, I don't know much about baseball, but I do know that with 10-10-3-4-5, all long distance calls within California are now just 5 cents a minute. I don't want to run your gig, but I don't hit. Oh, well, stick with it. Maybe someday you will. All calls within California are just 5 cents a minute. Dial 10-10-345 and save today.
I will talk louder and say exactly what I feel and whistle at all the cute boys in their pickups.
As you might expect, Teller and I don't see eye to eye on investing. I like to avoid risk. Teller's a little more daring. We do, however, share the same new way to trade online.
Introducing Power Street by Fidelity, the first site with trading tools customized by Lycos to fit your life, your goals, your unique way of doing things.
Look, the market's up. Or, in your case, down.
Power Street Online Trading. Call or visit Fidelity.com to open an account.
Win big. Watch Instant Replay with Fred Rogan tonight right after the game.
With Joe Morgan, Bob Costas back at Turner Field. If you're just joining us, Tom Glavine was scratched from his scheduled starting assignment in Game 1 with a stomach virus. Greg Maddux moved up a day, and what a duel he's involved with Orlando Hernandez. 1-0 as we go to the 7th.
Well, any of the Braves starters can be the number one, pitcher on any staff they're on. So the fact that Greg Maddux started in place of Glavine, the only difference is one is left-handed, the other is right-handed, but they're very similar in their approach to pitching. They basically both use the outside corner very well.
Ernie Williams will start it, followed by Tino Martinez and Jorge Posada in the 7th. Warren Spahn, a member of the All-Century team, threw out the first pitch at tonight's game. Braves fans, going back to Milwaukee, and Yankee fans, at least those who have reached middle age or beyond, will recall that in 1957, Warren Spahn was scheduled to pitch the 7th and deciding game of the World Series at Yankee Stadium. He turned up ill and was replaced by Lou Burdett, who on 2 days rest stepped in for Spahny, there's the great left-hander, and shut the Yankees out in Game 7 of the 57 World Series.
And so far in this ball game, Greg Maddux has been able to stay away from Bernie Williams until he gets ahead of him, and then he comes in on his hands. I think the Braves feel like if you stay away from him, he's not going to hurt you nearly as much as if you try to come inside early in the count.
Here's his 2-1 pitch. 3 balls and a strike.
And Maddux wanted that pitch. You see him shake his head right there. I mean, he was upset because it's a very important pitch. 2-2 is a lot different than 3-1. To watch Maddux's reaction right there, he shows you his frustration with the call.
And now he walks Williams to start the 7th.
Big difference between a 2-2 count and a 3-1 count. When you have a guy like Williams at the plate, you see Bobby Cox yelling. He said that pitch wasn't low, the 2-1 pitch. And he knows that Greg Maddux doesn't want to give in 3-1 to Bernie Williams, so 2-2 pitch was very important.
That might have caused a few lip readers in the audience to blanch.
I didn't really read them, Bob.
I thought one of the expletives was unmistakable. Tino Martinez has walked and lined out. Strike 1 to him. Bobby Cox was ejected 12 times this year. That led the majors.
And we saw Bobby far more animated than usual in the series with New York.
The last time these two teams met in the World Series, Cox was tossed from the last game, Game 6 at Yankee Stadium in '96. Line foul, 0-2. Joe Torre, flanked by his coaches, Mel Stottlemyre, the pitching coach, and the bench coach, Don Zimmer. The 0-2 pitch. Misses, but not by much.
And Maddux is getting a little upset himself here. Early in the ball game, Maddux was getting a lot of pitches up, and he gave up a couple of base hits on high pitches. But here you see just off the outside corner, and it appears to be off the plate outside.
Although fast, Bernie Williams is not regarded as a particularly good base runner. He stole 9 bases this year and was thrown out 10 times. Still 1-2.
We talk about, Hernandez making a mistake and Chipper Jones hitting the ball out of the ballpark. Well, that was a mistake right there by Maddux, but Martinez fouled it off. Every time you make a mistake in the ball game, they do not hit it out of the ballpark. Now watch, he doesn't want this ball right there inside. You see Perez having to reach back and drops his head. He knows that he got away with one right there.
Klesko had to scoop that one out of the dirt. Williams at first with nobody out, top of the 7th. Yankees trailing 1-0. There he goes. He's got a good jump, and Perez won't even throw.
Tough pitch to throw on, Bob. He got a good jump, but the ball was sinking down and away. Not a good pitch for Perez to throw on. Bernie gets a good jump. Now watch where the pitch is, down and away, but he slides in safely without a throw. Now watch where the pitch is. This is tough for a catcher to do. Dig the ball out and make the throw, and you see he lost it in the transition there. That's why he didn't throw.
And Martinez goes down on strikes. It got away from Perez, and Perez makes a good play, running out toward the middle of the diamond to make sure that he looked Bernie Williams back before completing the strikeout by throwing to first.
Watch the movement on this pitch from Maddux. This is the key to Maddux' success. I mean, this pitch looks like a strike halfway to the plate. See, it looks like a strike. Now look at the bottom falls out of it. Just great movement. Tino Martinez swings at it, and Perez does a good job of holding. See, that ball at one time was a strike. It was above the knees halfway to the plate, but he has such great movement on his pitches that by the time it got to the plate, it was strike 3.
So in a 1-0 game, the minimum the Yankees were hoping for was that Martinez could pull a ground ball to the right side, get Williams to third with 1 out. He couldn't do it. Here's Posada.
In the 3rd inning, let's take a look at the pitches up. Ground ball base hit. He was getting some pitches up early in the ball game. Now look at him. See, that's the difference. He has found his zone, and he's been able to keep these hitters off balance much easier than he was early in the ball game. There's a lot to be said about getting good pitches early, because once they get their rhythm, they're in control of the game.
Posada hits it in the air to shallow center, backpedaling his Weiss from shortstop, and he squeezes it.
And that was an intentional fastball up. He wanted to get Posada to chase something out of the strike zone. He had thrown him a fastball in, and then he threw this one up and out of the strike zone. See, this pitch is up and out of the zone. Posada can't catch up with it. See the scowl on Posada's face. He knows he went up and out of the zone.
Now it's up till a day. In these non-DH games in the National League City, the Yankees are without the bat of Darryl Strawberry, except off the bench as a pinch hitter. They won't use him in the field. He hasn't played a single inning in the outfield since they brought him back to the big club. Popped wide of first. Into foul ground goes Klesko. He has no play. Strawman awaiting his turn. He's got a bat just in case. Ramiro Mendoza, Panamanian right-hander who was so effective in the ALCS against the Red Sox, getting ready. The 0-1 pitch to Ricky Leday.
you can just watch Maddux at work there. I mean, every pitch now has a purpose. That pitch there was in under the hands. The first pitch he threw him was in under the hands. Now he has him exactly where he wants him, 0-2.
Down and in for a ball.
Well, he tried that screwball fastball. It starts off the plate inside and let it move back to the edge.
He's got his grip, and he fans with it.
Same pitch.
Second strikeout of the inning, fifth of the game for Maddux.
Remember compliments you receive. Forget the insults. Be nice to your siblings. They're your best link to your past and the people most likely to stick with you in the future. Finally, a minivan to live by. Introducing the all-new Mazda MPV.
Between every milestone are moments we share together. Now at McDonald's, we're saluting the Walt Disney World Millennium Celebration. Commemorate this momentous event with 4 special edition sculpted glasses. Where can you start celebrating the millennium?
Eins, zwei, drei.
Johnny! Johnny! Johnny!
Yes, my butterkiss.
Time to rub the bunions.
Great.
You're so sweet, Johnny. Between the toes.
I know.
Oh.
It's time for E-Trade, the #1 place to invest online.
This is my daddy. He's a Gemini man. He fixes cars. He can fix anything. People like my dad. He says it's because they trust him.
Gemini Automotive Care, only where you see this sign.
Hey, Jeff. Now listen, I got it right here, buddy. It's icy cold and tasting great. Now come on, Jeff, you tell me. Is there anybody in this world who deserves this here Pepsi more than you?
Hi, Jeff.
See you later, Jeff.
Now that's what I call motivation.
I don't know where she came from.
Don't worry, Jeff. There's always Daytona.
NBC's coverage of the 1999 World Series is brought to you by E-Trade, the #1 place to invest online. By Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. And by the people of Allstate, you're in good hands with Allstate.
And the first time up, he struck Chipper Jones out with a fastball in. He set him up by going away. He strikes him out. The next time up, he's trying to go away the first pitch, and he gets it back on the almost same spot he struck him out with, and Chipper makes him pay for that mistake. 1-0 Braves.
Chipper Jones, whose dad Larry idolized Mickey Mantle. Chipper is a switch hitter partly because of that. Jones himself had a chance to meet Mickey a few years ago when he was just coming up to the major leagues. First pitch is high, and as we mentioned earlier, the 45 home runs by Chipper Jones this year are the highest single season total for a switch hitter by anyone other than Mantle.
They tried to start Chipper off with a fastball in just to show him one and then go away with a changeup. He missed with both. Now it's 2-0.
Dangerous pitch for El Duque, and he leaves it low. When Mantle met Jones, he gave him a personally autographed photo, which Chipper sent to his dad. And his dad, Larry Sr., calls it one of the great thrills of his life. On 4 pitches, El Duque hands him a free pass to start the bottom of the 7th. Another view from the Goodyear Blimp Stars and Stripes. If it's a big sports event, you can bet the Goodyear Blimp is there.
We talk about the 2 key hitters on both squads. One was Chipper Jones for the Braves. The other was Bernie Williams. And we've seen how they pitched to them this late in the ballgame. Maddux got behind Williams and he walked it. El Duque got behind Chipper Jones, so he ends up walking him. They're not going to give in this late in the ballgame.
Jones runs on the first pitch to Jordan, who fouls it back.
Take a look at the jump that Chipper Jones gets. I'm not sure if it was a hit and run or not. Not a good jump because he was frozen there. Maybe it was a hit and run. You see him look back very quickly. I guess it was a hit and run. Bobby Cox said he would probably hit and run a lot in this series.
Chipper's a good base stealer, 25 of 28 this year. Back easily. The right-hander is Nelson. The lefty, Mike Stanton, the former Atlanta Brave. Jones with a short lead at first. And Jordan pops it back of short. Jeter at the edge of the outfield grass to take it.
And you see how El Duque is holding Chipper Jones now. He just sit there and held the ball for a long period of time. And a lot of pitchers believe that will keep the runner from breaking.
Now Ryan Klesko, who prior to tonight had been El Duque's nemesis, but in this game he's fly to right and tapped to the mound. Apart from Chipper Jones' home run in the fourth inning, I can recall only one ball hit hard against El Duque tonight, as Brett Boone and Brian Jordan try to figure the right-hander out. Andrew Jones lined hard to Scott Brocious at third base in the fifth. Apart from that, El Duque has been masterful. Another pop-up, and Brocious wants him. 2 out.
Let's take a look at El Duque when he is in his regular windup on the left and when he has a runner at first base. See, he just hides the ball completely, high leg kick. Now watch the leg kick on the right. This is with a runner at first base. Look at that short leg kick. And he gets rid of the ball quicker. Good job of changing up by El Duque.
So Jones remains at first now with 2 out, and here's Andrew Jones. Andrew has had 2 good at-bats against Hernandez. Worked a full count walk and a 10-pitch at-bat back in the second, and then lashed the line drive to Brocious in the fifth. John Smoltz, who is scheduled to start Game 4 at Yankee Stadium against Roger Clemens, tossing in the bullpen. He's been used twice in relief in this postseason by Bobby Cox. There goes Chipper Jones on the 0-1 pitch. Posado's throw. Got him. Chipper Jones cut down to end the 7th. And the taut 1-0 duel moves to the 8th at Turner Field.
Three motorcycles passed here. 3 men, 2 women, all carrying Visa cards.
You
know that, grandfather, because Central Law's Motorcycle Adventures doesn't take
American Express.
Central Oz will take you to a place beyond your imagination, but they won't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
This is my daddy. He's a Gemini man. He fixes cars. He can fix anything. People like my dad. He says it's because they trust him.
Gemini Automotive Care, only where you see this sign.
When work ends, what begins? Will it be panic or pleasure? At American General Financial Group, Alvalic Financial Advisors help over 1 million people turn hard work into a retirement big enough to hold their dreams. It's never too early. It's never too late to start, and it can make all the difference. American General Financial Group. Live the life you've imagined.
When you've got Schlotzsky's on the brain, there's not much room for anything else.
Enjoy the power and beauty of your youth. Don't worry about the future. Sing.
Finally, a minivan to live by. Introducing the all-new Mazda MPV.
NBC Monday.
Oh my God.
A co-ed murdered.
We could be looking at 2 attackers.
Superstar athletes accused. A secret tradition exposed.
Hostesses offer hospitality.
Angie Harmon guest stars.
What did they call it before the terms date rape and sexual harassment?
Boys will be boys. All new Law & Order Special Victims Unit, NBC Monday.
Let's watch this steal by Chipper Jones. He doesn't get a great jump, but it appears he still gets in there. As Knobloch tags him up by the knee in super slow motion, you can see that he's in there, and Knobloch tags him up by the shin. Very close play at second base. And the umpires do not have a super slow motion camera out there.
Scott Brocious starts it in the New York 8th, and he's 3 for 3. They have 4 hits, and 3 of them are Scott Brocious singles. That is it for Orlando Hernandez. Darryl Strawberry heads for the batter's box. Now we'll see whether or not Bobby Cox has a counter move, but John Rocker was not throwing. At least a moment ago he wasn't, so Joe Torre gets him in the game before Rocker gets in the game. The left-handed closer for the Braves.
And at second base, you can see Walt Weiss telling Maddux that he's going to be on the right side of the bag, even though he's going to take the throw if a ground ball's hit back to him. You see him here, but he's still going to take the throw.
Ball 1 to Strawberry. John Rocker has just begun to throw, just this moment, in the Atlanta bullpen. Springer the right-hander, Remlinger the other left-hander. Brian Hunter is in the game for defense, replacing Ryan Klesko at first for the Braves. The defensive alignment has Weiss and Boone both on the first base side of second. And the third baseman, Chipper Jones, is at what normally would be the shortstop position. 2-0 the count.
And you see Maddux making a real conscious effort to get the ball in on Strawberry. He doesn't want him to get anything out away from him where he can extend his arms.
3-0. Strawberry had homers in both the division series against Texas and the LCS against the Red Sox. He had only 49 regular season at-bats and hit 3 home runs. He is still obviously a feared hitter at age 37. Called strike, 3-1. He walked him. Runners at first and second, nobody out.
Well, Maddux definitely trying to get the inside part of the plate against Strawberry. See this pitch in, and it's ball 4. And Maddux very upset with himself that he ends up walking Darryl Strawberry.
Straw is done, drew the pinch hit walk. Chad Curtis runs for him.
And this is a situation that Joe Torre a lot of times will sacrifice in this situation with Knobloch in the top of the order. Maddux and Chipper Jones have just conferred on how they will handle the bunt if it's bunted toward third base.
He squares. He bunts foul. Both Joe Torre and Bobby Cox, each of whom has managed in both leagues, were emphatic in the days leading up to this World Series about how much they each preferred the National League style, the non-DH style. They both say unequivocally that it's just a better game without the DH. And anyone who watched the NLCS could hardly argue with that. All the lineup maneuvers, all the in-game strategy. Looking to bunt again. Gets this one down. Well placed. Hunter has to make a good play, and then it squirts out of his hand. The bases are loaded.
Well, that was a good job by Chuck Knobloch. Greg Maddux was breaking off toward the third base side in order to make a play at third base. Brian Hunter is coming in, and he bunts it right back through the middle. Now watch Maddux. He will go over here. See him start over there? So he can't field it. It's a tough play for Hunter, although he comes up with it, but he rushes and is not able to make the throw to first base. That was a good bunt by Knobloch to thwart what they were trying to do. Maddux was definitely going to cut anything off at third base.
A good play by Hunter to glove it, but then he's charged with the error as he can't make the throw. Sacrifice E3, bases loaded for Jeter, who fouls the first one off. Jeter is singled, grounded out, struck out.
And in this situation, the Braves are going to play back. Of course, they have a one-run lead. They're trying to get out of this. They're hoping for a ground ball double play.
The 0-1 pitch. And Maddux gets ahead of Jeter 0-2. Paul O'Neill will be next. Rocker getting ready. Leo Mazzoni, the pitching coach, rocking back and forth, as he always does, next to Bobby Cox. And the 0-2 pitch from Maddux to Jeter. He wouldn't chase it, 1-2.
Maddux struck him out on a sinker away the last time up, so he tries to get him to chase something off the plate. This is a very good 0-2 pitch. If Jeter swings at it, he's not going to be able to do anything with it.
Hit toward the hole and through for a base hit. Brosha scores. Curtis is stopped at third. A wise decision by the third base coach, Willie Randolph. They still have the bases loaded with nobody out, and at the very least, El Duque is off the hook. They hit for him in this inning. The game is now tied, and the Yankees still threatening, bases loaded, nobody out.
Well, the one thing to watch for is look at Jeter. He's going out there to get the pitch away. Maddux gets it up a little bit, and he rips it in the hole for a base hit. And Jeter has done this all season long. And the one thing about the Yankees, they keep coming at you all the time. And if you give them any help, like a fumble sacrifice or a base on balls here issued by Maddux, I mean, they just keep coming at you, and if you give them any help, they usually take advantage of it.
Maddux had a 3-hit shutout going into the 8th. Brosha started it with a sharp single to left. Strawberry walked as a pinch hitter. Knobloch's bunt was misplayed by Brian Hunter, loading the bases with nobody out, and then Jeter spanked one through the hole to tie the game at 1 apiece. Maddux is done. Rocker's coming into a bases-loaded jam, and we're coming back.
Eeny, miny, moe. This Christmas, everything, yes, everything, is getting blown up. From Trimount Studios comes the $200 million event of the year, Blown Up. Oh, my. This movie's gonna blow. A Michael Harper film, a Trimount Studios production.
It's time for E-Trade, the #1 place to invest online.
This is my daddy. He's a Gemini man. He fixes cars. He can fix anything. People like my dad. He says it's because they trust him.
Gemini Automotive Care, only where you see this sign.
People, you can them out now. Look, I've got the wireless internet right here in my hand. No wires, no tricks. There's news, sports, even Yahoo. And crystal clear calls, all right here. On Sprint PCS. That's right. Come on out. Welcome back to the world.
Introducing the Sprint PCS wireless web.
Lexmark is changing the face of printing with a passion. The new Lexmark Z-Series printers. They have the highest inkjet resolution on the planet to make your ideas jump right off the page. Lexmark. Passion for printing ideas.
Man, that sandwich was good. Is there another one? Well, yeah, but we're saving it for Dale. I'll be right back.
When you get that craving for Wendy's Bacon Mushroom Melt.
Hey, Dave, you having fun? Yeah. Why don't you stay out a few more laps? Okay.
With 3 strips of bacon and sauteed mushrooms in a cheddar cheese sauce, it's impossible to resist.
Now, where's that sandwich?
Wendy's Bacon Mushroom Melt. When you gotta have one, you gotta have one.
Daryl, I'm kind of hungry. I hope no one ate my lunch.
When these guys hit 165 miles per hour, they take off.
You're up.
When he hits 165, he just turns left. Real American heroes come to NBC. The NASCAR Pennzoil 400 this November.
John Rocker, the high-energy left-hander who turned 25 less than a week ago, had appeared in 9 consecutive games and really needed the few days off between the end of the LCS and the start of the World Series, comes in with no margin for error. The Braves bring the infield in against Paul O'Neill. Bases loaded, nobody out. O'Neill hit only 190 against left-handed pitching this year. Over 300 against righties. Swings and misses.
And that's the key pitch right there for Rocker. Toward the end of the Mets series, his fastball wasn't as live as it had been earlier. And the 3 days rest, I think, helped him get his fastball back. And even though he's a left-handed pitcher and he has a good curveball, that fastball is the key to him being able to handle left-handed hitters.
Switch hitter Bernie Williams is on deck. Then the lefty swinging Tino Martinez. A ball and a strike.
In between the pitchers being taken out, Bobby Cox was out yelling at the home plate umpire. He was very upset. He thought he missed a lot of pitches in that last inning for Greg Maddux.
Curtis, who ran for Strawberry at third. Knobloch, who reached on an error at second. Jeter, who singled home the tying run at first. And the 1-1 pitch. Up and in, 2-1. Let me ask you this, Joe. Were you surprised that Cox didn't have either Remlinger or Rocker already warmed up when Strawberry came off the bench earlier?
Yes, I was surprised, but I think he must have felt that Greg Maddux was getting better as the game went along, because normally he would have had a left-hander ready for Darryl Strawberry.
Crucial pitch on 2-1. Misses, and it goes to the backstop. Curtis started toward the plate, but it ricocheted right back to Perez, and Curtis slammed on the brakes.
That was a great base running play by Chad Curtis. You're taught that when the ball goes into the ground to take a step toward home, to start right away, right there. And, I mean, he started in, but this ball bounces right back to Perez. And this is a great base running play, because once you commit, you're usually going. Watch Curtis. Now he takes off. I mean, this is an excellent play there by Curtis. And so the Yankees still have the bases loaded with no one out.
With 2 out, maybe you try it. Not with nobody out.
There's a ball on the field in right field, and the ball boy runs out to get it.
With no place to put him, Rocker has fallen behind O'Neill 3-1. The Yankees take the lead. Knobloch waved home. Jordan's throw cut off by Hunter. He picks it to third, but Jones can't come up with it. Jeter had a notion to head home, but now dives back in as O'Neill takes second while all this is going on, and the Yankees are in front 3-1.
Good job by O'Neill. He worked himself into a hitter's count. He gets a 3-1 fastball. It's middle of the plate in, and he's able to get around and pull it. You see, he pulls it in the hole because the infield's drawn in. You do not have a lot of range, and this gets by Boone before he can react. And there's the base hit. See, Derek Jeter leaping over Boone. Now he decides he's going to third. They cut the ball off. Not a good throw by Brian Hunter. And the Yankees have a couple of more runs. Now it is a 3-1 lead.
With first base open, they walk Bernie Williams intentionally, and they'll take their chances with Tino Martinez. So Martinez, who had a grand slam in Game 1 of last year's World Series. And here it is at Yankee Stadium off another left-hander, the Padres' Mark Langston. Generally speaking, Martinez has not hit well in the LCS and World Series. He's sub 200 for his career at this level of play.
He's a funny type hitter, Bob, in that just when he's starting to look bad, all of a sudden he comes through with a big hit for you.
A hit here would break the game open. Infield in, and it's fouled off. The Braves brought Brian Hunter in for defense in this inning. He's been charged with 2 errors. On his throw to third, he didn't get Jeter, and that's what allowed O'Neill to move from first to second. Jeter at third. O'Neill, who had the big hit through the drawn-in infield at second. Williams, who was walked intentionally at first, with the coach there, Jose Cardinal. Three on, 3 in, and still nobody out. Rocker's 0-1 pitch is in there. Three singles, a walk, a sacrifice, a couple of errors, an intentional walk. Yankees making lots of noise in the 8th. Martinez goes down swinging.
That's why Rocker's effective against left-handed pitching. He gets ahead of you with the fastball, and then he gets you to chase the breaking ball. This is not a great breaking ball, but with 2 strikes, it breaks out of the zone, and a lot of times left-handed hitters will chase it if he's ahead of them in the count.
Posada is a switch hitter. He turns around to bat from the right side. Most of his at-bats during the course of a season are lefty. Joe Girardi would generally start when a left-hander starts against the Yankees. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Posada was 0 for 3 against Maddux. Now the infield moves back looking for the double play. Fastball is high, 1-1. Inside, 2-1. In that Atlanta dugout, they're already thinking, well, if Rocker can keep this reasonably close, then we'd better get something done in our half of the 8th, because in the 9th, we'll be looking at Mariano Rivera.
On the left is Rivera.
2-1 to Posada. 3 balls and a strike. Ricky Leday scheduled next. Left-handed hitter. Joe Torre has already used Chad Curtis as a pinch runner in this inning. Called strike, full count.
You see that number right there, 21-5. They've outscored their opponents from the 7th inning on. And really, that's the sign of a veteran team that makes adjustments as the game goes along.
The 3-2 pitch. He went off speed and got him looking. Posada can't believe it.
I think that pitch surprised everyone in the ballpark. John Rocker has a good enough fastball that he can throw it 3-2, but he comes with a curveball. And watch the delayed reaction by the home plate umpire. And you see the reaction of Posada. He says, no way. But again, they're looking for a fastball, and here comes a curveball.
Now pitching for the game, number 13, Jim Maddux.
Joe Torre thought he had the bases loaded walk that would force home a 4th run. Now he goes to his bench and sends up Jim Leyritz, right-handed hitter. You can see him there motioning toward Leday. Come back, Ricky. You're done for the night. Now he's already used Curtis as a pinch runner, so Curtis will stay in the game and play left when we move to the bottom of the 8th. They check it first, and Leyritz did go around for strike 1.
Let's watch the barrel again. No doubt he went on that swing. Tried to check it a little too late.
Swings and misses at high heat. Leyritz has always been a dead fastball hitter.
Unless you hang a curveball or a slider, ask Mark Wohlers.
Yeah. Game 4 in '96. Yankees come back from a 6-0 deficit to win it and even the series across the street at the old ballpark. Leyritz took Wohlers deep. That last rocker fastball was clocked at 98. Here's his 0-2. Inside.
A lot of pitches for John Rocker. 21 pitches here in the 8th inning in relief of Greg Maddux.
The 1-2 pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Leyritz. Rocker just a bundle of energy out there. Look at him. He can hardly contain himself. He says candidly, I wish I was good enough to be a football player. He likes the more constant action and the contact of football. So it just turned out I'm a better baseball player than a football player. But I'd rather play for the Falcons than the Braves.
There are a lot of Falcons who would rather play for the Braves.
One of them is Brian Jordan, I guess, who left football behind. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Full count. Just about everybody in Turner Field was waiting for Randy Marsh to punch Leyritz out.
Well, it's another curveball. He starts it off the plate outside. It breaks. Looks like it might be a hair low. And you see Perez raising the glove.
So after getting ahead 0-2, the count is now full. 3 runners will take off on the pitch. They go. Here it comes. He walks home a 4th run.
Well, he tried a 3-2 curveball with Posada and got it over the plate. He tries another 3-2 curveball with Layridge, and it's ball 4, and he walks in a run. He had just missed 2-2 with a curveball, comes right back with it again, and I think it's the same call from Randy Marsh that it is low. You see that Layridge had been frozen. He was looking for a fastball.
So he had him 0-2 and he lost him. The Yankees have batted around. Here's Brocious, who started the inning with a single. Scott is 3 for 3. Cuts and misses for strike 1. A ball and a strike.
And Brocious, as he was in last year's World Series, off to a great start, and he's been the key batter in this entire ball game. He's 3 for 3, but he started this inning off with a base hit that got Greg Maddux in trouble immediately.
That one broke sharply down and in. 1-2 the count. Rocker trying to get out of a nightmare 8th for the Braves. Not just yet. 2-2. O'Neill had a big hit in this inning at 3rd. Williams away from 2nd. Layritz, who forced home the 4th run with his walk, is at 1st. And the 2-2 pitch. Full count now to Brocious. Chad Curtis, who ran for Strawberry, is on deck. The runners go, and Brocious strikes out. The Yankees sent 10 men to the plate. 4 of them scored. They take a 4-1 lead to the bottom of the 8th in Game 1 of the World Series.
That's them.
Naughty little beavers.
Any chance, try to say because a lot of people going under.
You owe it to your children. You owe it to your parents. But will you have to risk your own retirement to care for a parent or educate a child? Into whose eyes can you look and say you just can't help? For in both, you will surely see your own.
2 tickets, $28. 2 hot dogs, 2 popcorns, and 2 sodas, $18. 1 autographed baseball, $45. Real conversation with 11-year-old son, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. Accepted all over, even Major League ballparks.
Tonight, Norm Macdonald is back, and he's hosting an all-new Saturday Night Live.
I used to be on this show.
With musical guests Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and Eminem. So how's it going at dress rehearsal right now?
Rough, just the way your mother likes it, Trebek. I hate my job.
Saturday Night Live, tonight. This is going to be dangerous.
How did I get so damn funny?
Number 28, Chad Curtis.
Chad Curtis, who ran for Darryl Strawberry, stays in the game and plays left field. Out of the bullpen, 6'8" right-hander Jeff Nelson. He'll be asked to work the 8th and then turn it over to Mariano Rivera.
It's interesting Joe Torre is going to Jeff Nelson instead of Ramiro Mendoza, who has been throwing the ball very, very well. But they use Nelson sometimes to set up man and Mendoza at other times. There's Mendoza.
Joe Torre, who succeeded Bobby Cox as manager of the Braves in the early 80s at the conclusion of Cox's first tour of duty as Atlanta's manager. Craig Sager reports from downstairs that John Rocker came into the dugout fuming. Andrew Jones bluffing a bunt and taking a strike, very upset with the ball and strike calls of plate umpire Randy Marsh. One and one. Nelson, as Rocker sits alongside his ever-rocking pitching coach, Leo Mazzoni. Nelson on the mound for the Yankees gives you that big, distracting motion and then throws that nasty slider with that frisbee-like motion side to side. That one's high, 2-2. Jones has walked and lined to third. Eddie Perez is on deck. Down goes Andrew Jones. The last save Mariano Rivera blew was on July 16th against the Braves at Yankee Stadium. The fourth of 4 blown saves for him this year. Since then, he's allowed exactly 1 run, regular season and postseason combined.
I saw him being interviewed last night, and they asked him about that. He says, I've already forgotten about that. He said, he'll have to beat me again if the opportunity arises. He said that will definitely not be on his mind.
Well, Joe Torre told us that a big part of the maturation process for Mariano Rivera, a painful part, was allowing the 4th game home run in the playoffs a couple of years ago to Sandy Alomar Jr. of the Indians. He said he was able to put that behind him, and right there Torre knew that Rivera was going to be his bullpen ace for a long, long time.
To be a closer, you have to have the mentality of, I remember something Raleigh Fingers said. He said, sometimes you tame the tiger, other times the tiger has you for lunch, but you have to go back out there.
Called strike. 2 balls and 1 strike to Eddie Perez. Way outside, 3-1. Walt Weiss is the next scheduled hitter. Ozzie Guillen is in the on-deck circle to pinch hit for him. Ball 4 to Eddie Perez. Tomorrow night at 7:30, we'll be back here with Game 2. Pre-game show includes the on-field ceremony for the living members of the All-Century team. And then it'll be Kevin Millwood for Atlanta against David Cone for the Yankees. Ozzie Guillen, who had a huge pinch hit in the 10th inning of the Game 6 National League Championship Series win against the Mets. They were trailing by a run. Guillen's hit helped them to tie the game, push it to the 11th, and eventually they won it in the bottom of the 11th. Joe Torre now heads for the mound. He's got Mike Stanton out there, whose specialty is to work to left-handers. And here comes Stanton. He wants to hold Rivera back for the night if he can possibly get it to happen that way. Nelson faced only 2 hitters.
I'm not going to let my retirement growth potential get lost in the excitement of a new job.
Like the rest of our generation, my daughter Annie is likely to change her job 7 or 8 times. Unfortunately, many of today's job changers don't take control of their 401ks and actively manage those assets.
Fidelity's Rollover Express is an easy way to take charge of your retirement plan savings with access to investment choices and funds with a history of solid performance. Just call 1-800-FIDELITY or visit fidelity.com.
Okay, really simple. AT&T, 7 cents a minute, all day, every day. That's it. The rest of this commercial is yours to enjoy as you choose. Make calls.
All day, every day. Call 1-800-41-RATE to enroll.
Just a good old boy, never meaning no harm. Beats all you never saw, been in trouble with the law since the day they was born. Making their way the only way they know how. That's just a little bit more than the law will allow.
Still trying to make the major leagues? Log on to MajorLeagueBaseball.com to reach the major leagues every day. Video highlights on demand. Live game audio. 7 days! Get comprehensive World Series coverage and order your official clubhouse cap and tee. MajorLeagueBaseball.com lets you be a part of the major leagues, and it may even help your game.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
So here's Mike Stanton, whose various trips through the major leagues have been very well timed, if nothing else. He's been in the postseason every year since 1991. He was with the Braves from '89 through '95. Went to the Red Sox. They made the playoffs in '95. To the Rangers in '96 in the postseason, and with the Yankees in '97, '98, and this year.
Bob, in the past, he's been a power pitcher, through a pretty good fastball, hard breaking ball. Now he's gone to a lot of changeups, throws a lot of changeups to right-handed hitters.
Guillen was announced. Stanton came in. Guillen pulled back. Jose Hernandez to the plate. Howard Battle, another right-handed hitter, is on deck. Hernandez has some pop. He had 19 homers this year. A called strike. Cuts and misses, 0-2.
There's a good changeup. He's starting with a breaking ball and then comes with a changeup.
Jose Hernandez strikes out a lot, 145 times this year. That one's in the dirt, 1-2. Chipper Jones' homer made it 1-0 into the 8th. Brian Hunter, seated next to him, made 2 errors in that 4-run Yankee half of the inning. 1-2 pitch, fouled off. Called strike 3. Randy Marsh sends Jose Hernandez packing, and here's a bit more invective from Bobby Cox.
Well, he throws him a curveball that starts off the plate outside. And according to Randy Marsh, it breaks over the outside corner. Not a bad looking pitch, especially with 2 strikes.
Torrey back to the mound. Pat Stanton on the back for a job well done, and now he wants Rivera.
Okay, with AT&T's new one-rate 7-cent plan, now your calls all day, every day are just 7 cents a minute.
Yeah? What about those nickel plans?
Okay, it's not always a nickel.
It's not.
During the day, that nickel can cost you a quarter.
Making it no longer a nickel.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, but with AT&T, it's simple.
It's always 7 cents a minute.
24 hours a day?
Yes.
Every day?
Yes.
7 days, 7 cents?
Yes.
Do you want to explain it to him again?
I don't.
All day, every day. Call 1-800-41-RATE to enroll.
Oh, boy, I gotta tell you, this big New Yorker is the quintessential New York pizza.
This is what pizza is supposed to be. Dripping with so much cheese, you got to fold it to eat it.
And man, it is New York big. 16 inches across. How do I know so much about New York pizza? Because New York, I want to be your next senator.
The big New Yorker pizza from Pizza Hut. Big enough to feed all your constituents at a very un-New York price.
$9.99. What I think this is, Arkansas.
The big New Yorker pizza from Pizza Hut. Another one of the best pizzas under one roof.
Rolling, rolling, rolling. Keep those prices rolling. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Roll back. Roll them back, move them out, move them out. Roll them back, roll them back, move them out. Roll back.
We're rolling back prices all over the store. Just look for Smiley to save even more. Walmart.
Move them out, roll back.
Always low prices.
Yeah.
Always.
Give me an army, and I'll save France from her enemies.
At 16, she convinced a king.
With half of France in the hands of the English, what have I got to lose? The other half.
And inspired an army.
Does she even know how to ride a horse?
She knows.
500 years later, her passion is still changing history.
Let all those who love me follow me!
The Messenger, the story of Joan of Arc. Rated R. Opens everywhere November 12th.
NBC's coverage of the 1999 World Series is brought to you by Merrill Lynch. There's a new way to work with Merrill Lynch, any way you want. By MasterCard. MasterCard, proud sponsor of Major League Baseball and fan of the great American pastime. And by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, official beer of Major League Baseball. This Bud's for you.
We were talking about the big home run allowed in the division series in 1997 by Rivera, an opposite field shot to Sandy Alomar Jr. at Jacobs Field. That is the last time he's been touched for a run in the playoffs or the World Series. He's worked 7 2/3 postseason innings in 1999. In the ALCS, he had 2 saves and a win.
Number 7, Keith Lockhart.
The last save he blew was against the Atlanta Braves in mid-July. Howard Battle had been announced. He's pulled back. Left-handed hitting Keith Lockhart, their best pinch hitter, is sent up. That's strike one.
What you'll see from Rivera is a riding fastball up in the zone and a cut fastball, which he threw there. And every once in a while he'll turn one over, but he throws a cut fastball and a riding fastball. Yeah, that obviously is the riding fastball up, and Lockhart a little late on it. He has such a slow and easy motion that the ball just explodes on you, and you do not have a lot of time to decide whether it's in the strike zone or not.
A ball and 2 strikes. Martinez playing behind Perez at first. And the 1-2 pitch is popped back and out of play. Mariano Rivera is such a cool customer that he's been known to nap in the early innings of a game out in the bullpen. Kind of, you know, wake me up when you need me. Lockhart stays alive. Slender Panamanian right-hander, 6'4" and barely 170 pounds. Another 1-2 pitch. Lockhart slaps it down to Martinez, who'll take it himself. Down go the Braves in the 8th. 4-1 Yankees.
Yeah, let me get this straight.
Yes.
Are you actually saying I don't have to pay you a separate commission every time I trade a stock?
Exactly.
I'd pay an annual fee instead. Right. Is anyone getting
If
this?
we don't pay you a commission every time we trade, what's your motivation?
It's just like always, Ann, your best interest.
Could you just explain it again?
Maybe what it is the fee is based on the value of our portfolios. So when we succeed, they succeed.
You'll have to be patient with us. This is all very new.
If you were a new luxury car, how would you stand apart from the rest? Would you have the most powerful V6 in your class? Or the largest interior? Maybe you'd offer amenities you couldn't find anywhere else. Imagine how special you'd be if you could claim all of them. Presenting the all-new Infiniti i30. It's all the best thinking.
His grace on the field can't be matched. His contributions can't be missed. His homers travel 450 feet. His support goes even farther. Major League Baseball Charities has teamed with the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Together, we're giving kids a world of opportunities. He has the drive to be a big leaguer, but hasn't forgotten what it takes to be a little kid.
Tonight, Norm Macdonald is back, and he's hosting an all-new Saturday Night Live with Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and Eminem. So how's it going at dress rehearsal right now?
I hate my job.
This is going to be dangerous.
Hi there, Fred Rogan live in our Burbank studios. Yankees with a big 8th to take the lead, and I hope you have been keeping a close eye on the game because it could make you a big winner. Right after it's over, we'll play instant replay. Over $12,000 worth of prizes on our board. You may have a chance to win $1 million if you have 4 lucky numbers. If that's not enough, Dodger first baseman Eric Karros will be with us, and we will be very interested in what he has to say. Are you ready to win a prize, maybe $1 million? See you with instant replay right after the game.
Jose Hernandez stays in the game at short. Out of the bullpen comes left-hander Mike Remlinger, who was 10-1 for the regular season, and there are his postseason stats.
And one of the things the Braves thought they had an advantage over the Yankees was that their bullpen was predominantly left-handed, and they felt like that could really hurt the Yankees late in the ball game. But Remlinger did not come in to pitch to Darryl Strawberry, so in the crucial 8th inning. So I don't know exactly how that works in the Braves' favor if you're not using them against the left-handed hitters of the Yankees.
Leading off in the top of the 9th, it's Chad Curtis. In the 4-run 8th, Strawberry batted for El Duque, drew a walk. Curtis ran for him, stayed in the game. And he's in left field now. Swings on the first pitch, skies it to shallow right. Brian Jordan is there. Back to the top of the order for Chuck Knobloch. Except for a tag play on an attempted steal, Knobloch somehow has avoided the ball, or the ball has avoided him in this game. All the talk about his problems at second base, unless I'm missing something on my scorecard, he hasn't had a chance except taking that throw from Posada when they threw Chipper Jones out trying to steal.
And that's true. I can't remember another play either, but tell you what, if you play 5 or 6 ball games, you can't hide middle infielders.
The ball will find you.
The ball will find you.
Knobloch finds his counterpart at second, Brett Boone, who throws him out from the outfield grass. Satori has less to worry about with at least a 3-run lead going to the bottom of the 9th, and Luis Sojo unavailable. Sojo in Venezuela for his father's funeral, and the Yankees playing a man short the first 2 games of this series. Joe says he will not replace Knobloch for defense unless Sojo is here. He's not going to go to a rookie like Clay Bellinger, who doesn't have much big league experience. 2 quick outs in the top of the 9th. Here's Jeter.
Last year we talked about the Yankees and how good they were without having an MVP on their ball club. Well, I think this year this guy here has become an MVP, and Bernie Williams, both of these guys have stepped up and become the stars of this Yankee team. And Derek Jeter has just been almost perfect from opening day until the end of the World Series. I mean, he has been the guy for the Yankees.
Two and one to Derek.
And he always seems to be up there in crucial situations. I mean, he was up against Greg Maddux in the 8th inning and came through with a base hit. And they've been able to avoid Bernie Williams in those situations tonight.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Derek's RBI single in the 8th tied the game at 1. Maddux stands to be the loser. Hernandez the winner. El Duque threw 7 innings of 1-hit ball. The only hit, a Chipper Jones homer in the 4th. Full count. And he loses him. Very quiet Atlanta dugout, faced with the prospect of trying to make up 3 runs against a guy who's yielded 1 run since mid-July. The Braves really were the last team to victimize Rivera. Andrew Jones had a home run against him. Last save he's blown, last homer he's allowed this year. They've got him picked off. Jeter sprints for second, and he's gone. Officially a caught stealing. That puts an end to the top of the 9th.
This holiday season, the most original, most emotional films may not be in theaters. They'll be on your desk. Introducing the easiest way to create and compose and edit and polish your own home movies. The all-new iMac, now with desktop video.
Together we've celebrated birthdays and opening days. Good efforts and little losses. Moments that live once and forever. But what we've really celebrated is time together. Now McDonald's salutes the year-long Walt Disney World Millennium Celebration, where new memories are yet to come. Commemorate this momentous event at McDonald's with 4 special edition glasses. Where can you start celebrating the millennium? Did somebody say McDonald's?
You know, I wonder if you can fix that truck again.
E-tailers like Amazon.com choose priority mail. Shouldn't you?
Oatmeal lovers, book a chapel in Vegas. If you have a passion for moist, chewy oatmeal and satisfying chunks of real fruit, then say I do to new Nutri-Grain Fruitful Squares. Fill up and you're good to go.
This is the one. I was so psyched it came out. My brothers dared me to do it. They didn't think I could keep up.
Kodak Max.
Now, I've got proof.
Film that captures action and takes great pictures in almost any light. Low light, sunlight, action, or still.
So, when's the hard part?
Kodak Max. Now with even better color.
I can see you. Oh no, I got it.
I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it.
Freaks and Geeks.
I said I got it.
Time magazine calls it sweet and funny. The best new show.
Show off.
NBC Saturdays after baseball.
I said I got it.
4 Yankee pitchers have combined to one-hit the Braves through 8. Hernandez did the bulk of the work. 7 one-hit innings with 10 strikeouts. Then they started the 8th with Nelson, Stanton for one-hitter, Rivera to cap the inning. And now they'll ask Mariano to close it in the 9th. Gerald Williams 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts against El Duque. Takes strike 1 from Rivera. Hit to second, a chance for Knobloch. He plays it cleanly, awkward looking throw, but it gets the job done. Here's Knobloch, Gold Glover in '97, 26 errors to lead American League second baseman in that dubious category this year.
And he's had problems on these types of throws where he has time, but you see there he kind of picks up the target very quickly. He doesn't get a lot on the throw, but he retires the runner.
He threw that like he was playing catch with a small child. Oh, 2 to Brett Boone.
Well, we take a look at him. See, he picks up the target very quickly there, but you can see he's opened his hand just to throw it. It's more like a changeup.
Hit toward the hole, a base hit.
High fastball. Boone, pretty good high fastball hitter. But Rivera's high fastball is a little different than most. He hammers it and hits it in the hole to right field. If you're the Braves, all you're trying to do now is bring the tying run to the plate. You need to try to get a situation where one swing of the bat you can tie the ball game.
They're 1 base runner away from that. Ball 1 to Chipper Jones. Struck out, homered, and walked.
And with Rivera, you're going to have to earn it because he doesn't help you out. He comes after you. He makes you earn everything you get against him.
2-0. No strikes.
I think Mel Stottlemyre's wondering where that pitch was.
Jones taking all the way, and on 4 pitches, he walks to bring the tying run to the plate.
And you see Posada talking to the home plate umpire. I think they were both shocked that the 2-0 pitch was called a ball.
So here's Jordan, who was twice flied to right and then popped to short. When they weren't sure if they could sign Bernie Williams, the Yankees had some interest in Jordan during the offseason. Eventually, Bernie stayed in New York. Jordan went from St. Louis to Atlanta. Apart from the Chipper Jones home run, Brett Boone, now at second base, is the first Brave to get that far tonight. Strike 1 to Jordan, who hit 23 home runs during the regular season. He had a couple more in the LCS against the Mets. And Rivera quickly gets ahead of him 0-2.
And did 2 good cut fastballs right on the outer half of the plate.
Greg Myers, reserve catcher, is on deck to pinch hit. On 3 pitches, Jordan sits down. So he walked Chipper Jones on 4. He fans Jordan on 3.
This is the first pitch, cut fastball, strike on the outside, cut fastball again, he fouls off. This one a little more off the plate, and he goes down swinging.
The disgusted Jordan is the second out of the ninth. This was Klesko's spot in the lineup. Hunter replaced him for defense. Myers now bats for Hunter. And hits a little pop that Brocious chases down in foul ground. And game 1 goes to New York. The Chevy player of the game is Orlando Hernandez. El Duque threw 7 brilliant innings, marred only by the Chipper Jones homer. He struck out 10. He gets the win. Mariano Rivera notches the save. Orlando Hernandez is now 5-0 in the playoffs and World Series. And the Hernandez family, if you count what Levon did in '97 for the Marlins, a perfect 9-0. And now to the Merrill Lynch play of the game as part of the 4-run Yankee 8th. They had the bases loaded. The infield was drawn in. Paul O'Neill, who hit only 190 this year against left-handed pitching, managed to slip it past the diving Brett Boone off the lefty John Rocker. That produced 2 runs, made it 3-1, and the Yankees win it 4-1.
And because of the pressure of the Yankees that put on them, they had to play the infield in.
Let's go to Jim Gray.
All right, thank you very much, Bob. Paul, you get that awful big 2 RBI hit in the 8th inning. How did you guys finally resolve Greg Maddux there and get him out of the game? He had pitched 7 innings of shutout.
Well, I mean, we got a break there on the bunt, obviously. It really set things off for us. But, you know, Straw goes in off the bench and gets a big walk, and, you know, you get some runners. And I think, you know, the days off hurts both teams as far as hitting. It's tough to come after not playing for 4 or 5 days and go out and have good at bats. But Maddux, as usual, was great, and we're just going to get to him.
What can you say about El Duque? He has a 1-hitter. Turns out the 1 hit is the 4th inning home run to Chipper Jones, but he turned in a fabulous performance for you guys.
It's so much fun to play behind him. I mean, he's got so much confidence now. He throws from different angles, and he puts everything he's got, his heart and soul out there, and he believes that he's going to win. And it's he's pitched some great games for us.
Paul, congratulations on game 1.
Thank you very much.
Right, we'll see you tomorrow. All right, Bob, back upstairs to you.
Jim, thanks a lot. The Yankees have now won 9 straight World Series games. They're 8-1 against playoff and World Series competition this year. Again, the final score, the Yanks 4, the Braves 1. We're back tomorrow night for Game 2 of the World Series, Millwood versus Cone. And the special pregame show begins at 7:30 Eastern and will include the live introduction and ceremony of the MasterCard All-Century team. That's tomorrow at 7:30 Eastern here on NBC. Tonight, following your late local news, an all-new Saturday Night Live featuring Norm Macdonald and the music of Dr. Dre featuring Snoop Doggy Dogg and Eminem. I'm guessing that's not Mantle and Maris. And for those of you who'd like to continue with our World Series coverage, tune to CNBC right now for the post-game report. For Joe Morgan, Jim Gray, and Craig Sager, I'm Bob Costas. This is NBC, home, as you know by now, of the 1999 World Series.
In 2 weeks, Belmont Stakes winner Lemon Drop Kid takes on a
Game report from NBC Sports. Now, right after that's over, we'll return to National Geographic Explorer, so stay tuned and you won't miss a thing.
This is the CNBC World Series postgame.
Hi, everybody. Hannah Storm back in Atlanta at Turner Field with the CNBC postgame report. I'm joined by Cincinnati Reds all-star shortstop Barry Larkin, and we'll hear from him in just a few minutes in this game in which the New York Yankees take a 1-0 lead in this World Series with their 9th straight World Series victory. Before Barry and I talk about the game, we're going to go down to Jim Gray, who's joined by Derek Jeter.
Go. All right, thank you very much, Ann. I'm here with Derek Jeter. Derek, in that 8th inning, you guys batted around. You had the big hit, which enabled the game to be tied.
Tell us how you guys were struggling against Maddux and things finally got it going your way in that 8th inning.
Well, everybody knows about Greg Maddux and what type of pitcher he is. And, you know, he throws a lot of strikes, and he never throws a straight ball. So he's probably one of the toughest pitchers in baseball, and we tried to be patient with him, but he was throwing too many strikes, and we got to him in the 8th.
How tough is it to be patient with him, and how difficult is he to hit, particularly when you're only playing him in maybe one interleague game a year, and then back in the World Series a couple of years ago in '96?
I mean, he's very tough. You know, he always seems to go out there. He's a big game pitcher for him, and, you know, we thought we were facing Glavine today, and then you come in, you got Greg Maddux, and, you know, what can you do? You just go out there, you battle, and you try to score some runs.
With the pitching change, you come to the stadium, you guys are expecting, as you say, to face Glavine, then it's Maddux. Does it make that big a difference? I know it's a left-hander against a righty, and it changes a couple of guys in the lineup, Leday, and it turns Bernie around and so forth. But is that a big difference for the team that's the opposing team?
I don't think so. I mean, you look at all their pitchers, it makes no difference what hand the ball's coming out of. They all got great control, they have great stuff, and they're all battlers. So, you know, it really makes no difference. We just go up there and try to score some runs. We didn't do it early, but Duque did a great performance, and our bullpen closed the door.
Talk about El Duque. He has a one-hitter. Turns out that one hit is against Chipper Jones, that home run in the 4th inning, but the guy turns in just an awesome performance.
Well, he never makes mistakes. I mean, that was the one mistake he made to him, and Chipper capitalized on it. He pitched an outstanding game, and, you know, he probably would have finished the game, but we're in the National League, so they had to pinch hit for him. But he's been doing it all year.
To win game 1 means what?
It's huge. I mean, we take the same approach every game. We play every game like it's game 7, and, you know, we don't try to relax and say we want to split in Atlanta. We want to win every game we play. Now we have this one. Tomorrow's a huge game.
Final thought, the expectation level of this team, we talked about at the beginning of the playoffs, we talked about in the regular season. Anything short of a World Series championship is basically unacceptable. Does the pressure mount now as you get to the World Series?
I don't think so. I think the tough part is getting here. You know, when you're here, you want to enjoy it. Obviously, you want to win, but, you know, I think the tough road is getting here. We want to win. We're not happy just being here, but, you know, we're playing a tough Atlanta team. It's just one game.
Derek, thank you for your time in this extended interview. All right, Hannah, back upstairs to you.
Thanks a lot, Jim. Again, Derek Jeter 2 for 4 tonight with an RBI and scored the tying run, tied this game at a run apiece in the top of the 8th inning. Now for a comment from the losing side, we go to Braves second baseman Brett Boone, who moments ago spoke with Craig Sager. Craig?
Well, Brett, the big play in the game, bases loaded, drawn in infield, Paul O'Neill's up. What happened?
You know, we got us, anytime you get in that situation where you got the base loaded and no outs, you're in a pretty tough situation. So infield's drawn in, he bounced one through, and it ended up being 2 big runs for him, and you know, it was a tough night for us. Greg went out there and pitched his butt off, and we didn't give him much help. So other than the Chipper home run, you know, but at the same time, Hernandez went out and pitched a great game. So it was a tough one, but you know, it's over with. We got to worry about tomorrow.
John Rocker got behind O'Neill 3-1. He also got Leyritz on a 3-2 pitch that he thought was strike 3, but walked in a run. What about some of the pitches?
I don't know. I mean, some of the pitches are close, but you know, a couple of pitches in some situations didn't go our way tonight. But you know, we're not going to sit there and worry about that. Bottom line is we didn't give him any runs to work with. So got to put this one away. You know, Hernandez pitched a great game. Worry about tomorrow.
Why was he so effective?
It's tough. I mean, he's throwing from a lot of different angles, and he was locating his pitch. He was keeping his fastball down, and you know, throwing a slider good. And from that angle, he throws a lot of arms and legs at you, and if you're not used to facing him, you know, he's funky. It's tough to pick up the ball, but we just didn't swing the bats good tonight, and hopefully we'll get it ready for tomorrow.
Thanks for being with us.
All right, thanks a lot, Craig. Brett Boone, 1 for 4 tonight, had one of just 2 hits for the Atlanta Braves, the other, of course, being the solo shot in the 4th inning by Chipper Jones. Meanwhile, hitting very well tonight for the Yankees, last year's World Series MVP Scott Brocious, 3 for 4 tonight, got things going for them in the 8th inning, and moments ago he spoke with Jim Gray.
All right, thank you very much, Hannah. I'm now here with Scott Brocious. Scott, you started that big inning, and you also finished it. Tell us about that 8th inning and what got you guys on track, the big base hit to start it.
Well, really, you know, we were just hoping the whole game long, the way El Duque was throwing and the way Greg was throwing, we were just hoping to maybe get one opportunity to put some runs on the board. And, you know, we got that single to start the inning, and then Straw came up and got the big walk that really got the inning rolling. And, you know, we were just able to get a couple hits to score the runs.
How did you figure out Greg Maddux, you had 3 hits tonight. Everybody else was kind of struggling up there.
I don't know if I really did. I mean, really the only thing you can hope for against a pitcher like that is that he'll make a mistake. And, you know, I think most of the at-bats I was behind in the count, and he'd be the first guy to say that they're just fastballs that kind of stayed up a little bit.
Bobby Cox seemed to be very upset with Randy Marsh at home plate, and I'm sure you guys were hearing it on a lot of the balls that were called against Greg Maddux. Did he have a legitimate complaint?
Again, I don't know. You know, I know that at least in my at-bats, you know, the balls that were strikes, he called strikes, and the balls that were balls, he called balls.
Game 1 to win it. We're just told by Derek Jeter it's awful big. What really does it mean to win this game?
Well, certainly you want to feel like that you can get off and get that first win out of there. You don't want to be playing from behind, I guess, so to speak. So to come in here in a matchup like this to pull the victory, we're happy with it.
All right, Scott, we appreciate your time tonight. Good luck in Game 2.
All right, thanks, Jim.
All right, back to you, Hannah.
Thanks, Jim. Again, Scott Brocious 3 for 4 tonight with a run scored, but the star of the game for the New York Yankees, Orlando El Duque Hernandez. Through 7 innings, allowed just 1 hit, 1 run, 10 strikeouts as he goes to 5-0 lifetime in the postseason. More of our post-game show coming up right after this.
Do rich people deserve more space than the rest of us? Was technology meant to improve their lives alone? Do the stars shine for their eyes only? Introducing the special edition Century 2000. With so many unexpected amenities for an unexpected price, it's the first limited edition that isn't limited to the rich. The new Century 2000 by Buick, a luxury car for everyone.
And the snow emergency is still in effect. In other news, the market rebounded today.
Ooh, the market. Gene, buy one of them tech stocks. Shake it off.
No, invest in pork bellies.
No! Dump your money in plastics.
While you're buying things, why don't you buy me some legs?
It's time for E-Trade, the #1 place to invest online.
I'd like my spleen back, too. I don't know where it is.
Small business software, $400. Letterhead, $610. Office supplies, $90. Remembering who you work for, priceless. MasterCard Business Bonuses lets you earn miles good on any airline, no blackouts. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard Business Card.
The painter Degas often lit his subjects with a glow from a window. Renoir used dappled sunshine. Toulouse-Lautrec, the flicker of gas lamps. But when leading museums need to light a Degas, a Renoir, or a Lautrec, they choose revolutionary GE halogen bulbs. These bulbs make any room look its best, whether it's home to a Renoir or something equally priceless.
Trading just begun on
huge rally in the market.
Very treacherous now.
CNBC News update.
Back in Atlanta, Georgia, where the New York Yankees win Game 1 of the World Series 4-1 over the Atlanta Braves. The Yankees with 6 hits in the game. Atlanta managing just 2 hits. And a masterful performance by Orlando El Duque Hernandez, who goes 5-0 in the postseason and was virtually unhittable tonight, Barry, save that one mistake to Chipper Jones, but strikes out the side in the first and the third inning. 10 strikeouts tonight.
El Duque era increíble hoy. El Duque was unbelievable today, and he pitched like we expect him to pitch, and the Braves couldn't do anything with it.
What is it that makes him so tough for opposing hitters?
Well, I think it's the fact that he throws all of his pitches from different angles. He throws any pitch at any particular time. He was really throwing his fastball today. He was really working. Maybe the cold weather helped him a little bit today, but, he was on top of his game, and that was a big lift for the Yankees.
And the hitters just unable to adjust to him as the game went on.
Well, baseball is a game of adjustments, but as they tried to adjust, he adjusted as well. He made one mistake. Actually, he made 2 mistakes. He left the breaking ball up to Andrew Jones. He hit hard to Brocious at third base and in the pitch to Chipper Jones. But other than that, he pitched a masterful game today.
And then you figure with Mariano Rivera coming in to close things out, if Orlando Hernandez pitches like that, and then you've got an automatic in Rivera at the end, and not much chance to score.
I tell you, it's not a good prospect. You're sitting out over the bench, and you see, Rivera in the line or down in the bullpen, and you know, you got to face that guy, and it's tough. It was a tough night for the Braves.
Braves got into a bases-loaded jam with no outs. Maddux got him into it. Then John Rocker comes on, no outs, and the bases loaded. And then he gives up the single. Paul O'Neill drives in 2 runs with this single in the 8th.
Well, Paul got to a hitter's count. Rocker was 3-1, I believe. Paul was looking for a fastball up. He got it. The infield was playing in, and he knocked that ball past Brett Boone. I think if the infield was back in that particular situation, Boone would have made that play.
Scores Chuck Curtis and Knobloch on that play, and that made it 3-1 right there. And Brian Hunter with a couple of errors in that inning also hurt him.
It was a tough play on the bunt. Ball was kind of in between he and Maddux, and he had to catch the ball going away from first base. You know, it was cold out there, so the ball was pretty slippery. And then to throw to third base and allowed the runner to go to second base. So, you know, Brian's a good defensive player. That's the reason he came in the game, but unfortunately had some tough plays tonight.
Well, Bobby Cox had a few questions to answer, and moments ago in the interview room, he addressed the media.
Go ahead, Bruce.
Bob, consistency in umpiring is what people strive for. When an umpire, when you get inconsistent toward the end, is there anything you can do, anything people can do about that?
You get beat most of the time. That's what happens. You know, I've made up my mind. I'm not going to talk about the umpires in this series, but, you know, close pitches will determine the game, one way or the other.
Okay.
And we felt Chipper was safe at second, too. I mean, I don't know if he was or not, but he looked safe. You know, that's 1-0 at the time. We get a base hit, that's 2-0. It makes a big, huge difference.
One step further, Bob, we know about replay not during the regular season, but with these games being so important in postseason, would you be an advocate of replay in the postseason?
Not really. Yeah, I don't know what the other managers think about it, but you know, it's the umpires. It's part of baseball. Missing calls, getting them right, and making errors and hitting home runs. That's all part of the game. Bad hops, and you know, it's all part of the game.
Okay, any other questions? Go ahead, sir. He's right there.
Bob, talk about, you might have already said, but Maddux's performance up until the 8th inning, maybe his best.
He pitched great in the 8th inning. I mean, Brocious got 3 ground balls through our infield tonight, and then we messed up the bunt, you know, and, you know, we thought we had Strawberry, and we ended up giving up some runs that inning. He gave up 1 ball hit good, and that was it. I thought he was as good tonight as he's ever been, and he had plenty of room to go 9 innings tonight.
Bobby, since you mentioned the bunt, is it your impression that Brian came out too far? Should he have left that play to the pitcher?
I don't know. Brian is an excellent first baseman. That's probably why because he's real quick, and that's probably why it got fouled up a little bit. We don't generally miss on that, you know. The bunt was just kind of right in between. And he threw it out of his hand. Still would have got 1 out.
And now Bobby Cox and the Braves look ahead to tomorrow in the pitching matchup with Tom Glavine ailing. It looks like this. David Cone will go for the Yankees. He's 1-0 with a 2.57 ERA in the postseason against Kevin Millwood of the Braves, 2-0 with a 2.38 ERA and a save in the postseason. And that's the way the pitching matchup looks for Game 2 tomorrow night. The Yankees have taken a 1-0 lead in this World Series. The Braves only managing 2 hits tonight and 1 run, that coming from a solo shot by Chipper Jones off Orlando Hernandez in the bottom of the 4th. The first home run of the postseason for Jones. Not enough for the Braves tonight.
Natural, real. I want to look the way I feel. I'm a Grecian man. Grecian fine. Want it quick, hassle-free. A look that really looks like me. Grecian man. Grecian fine. A Grecian man, no time for gray. A new generation, a whole new day. Grecian fine.
As you might expect, Teller and I don't see eye to eye on investing. I like to avoid risk. Teller's a little more daring. We do, however, share the same new way to trade online.
Introducing Power Street by Fidelity, the first site with trading tools customized by Lycos to fit your life, your goals, your unique way of doing things.
Look, the market's up. Or, in your case, down.
Power Street Online Trading. Call or visit Fidelity.com to open an account.
For 98 years, GMC has designed trucks for people who drove them not because they were trendy, but because their lives depended on them. Heroes who measured a truck by its power and its determination. That heritage lives in the Yukon Denali, a luxury SUV with a 255 horsepower V8. It meets the demands of professionals and the standards of history. The Yukon Denali by GMC.
Squawk Box heads south with the nation's top CEOs. Hear from the leaders behind the companies you invest in and find out how they plan to do business bigger and better. The CEO Summit, live from Boca Raton, Florida, begins Thursday on CNBC's Squawk Box.
Back at Turner Field in Atlanta with the CNBC postgame show. The final score tonight, the Yankees a winner in Game 1, 4-1. Orlando El Duque Hernandez, the winning pitcher, the MVP of the American League Championship Series, gives his team a 1-0 lead, and we go down to the field live as he joins Jim Gray.
All right, thank you very much, Hannah. I'm joined by El Duque, Orlando Hernandez, and Julio Sarmiento. He is the public relations director for Orlando's brother, Livan, down in Miami, and he will translate for us tonight. In English, por favor. In English, please. Assess, how do you feel you did tonight, your performance?
En inglés no.
Okay, en español.
En español. Me sentí bien. Pude colocar los lanzamientos donde quería y ese fue el resultado de la victoria.
Yeah, I felt real good, and I was able to locate my pitches where I wanted to, and that was the reason for the victory.
You came back to the bench after the Chipper Jones home run in the fourth inning. You said, mistake, my mistake. ¿Sí?
Yes, porque el lanzamiento lo tiré donde no me lo pidieron. Y Chipper Jones es un gran bateador y aprovechó muy bien y no se puede cometer mistake con ellos.
Yeah, and it was my fault because I didn't throw the pitch where the location was set up for me to throw it. And Chipper Jones is a great batter, and he hits your mistakes. And, you know, when you make a mistake like that to him, you're going to pay for it. And I didn't throw the pitch where I needed to.
Were you upset at coming out of the game? You had a successful bunt. Did you feel as though you could have stayed in and bunted again?
Cuando te quitaron del juego, ¿sentiste que tú podías haber quedado en el juego a tocar la bola en esa situación?
No. Eso es una decisión del manager y estamos ahora jugando la Liga Nacional y la Liga Nacional sé que es así y aunque me pueda molestar, siempre respeto la decisión del manager por encima de todo.
No, that's the manager's decision, and I need to realize that right now we're playing National League Baseball, and the manager makes the decision, and regardless of whether it upsets me or not, I respect the manager's decision, and that's what I need to do in that situation.
Quedó demostrado en ese inning de que el cambio fue perfecto.
And it demonstrated, it showed that inning that the move he made was perfect. It's what was needed at that time.
Gentlemen, thank you. Orlando, congratulations.
Thank you.
Muy bueno.
Gracias.
All right, his brother Livan will be at Game 5 if there is a Game 5. Hannah?
Thanks, Jim. Well, the Hernandez brothers, quite a pair in postseason play, and Joe Torre's team quite dominant in the World Series recently. This their 9th straight World Series win. Of course, a lot of people asking about El Duque's dominant performance tonight, and Joe Torre spoke about him with the media moments ago.
Joe, just talk about El Duque's pitching performance. How long since you've seen something like that in the series?
Yeah, he continues to just make you shake your head. I thought he was sharp right from the get-go tonight. I really didn't know what to expect. He's still in there shaking his head, mistake. But it's, I mean, he took control early, as did Maddux. It was one of those games that we just anticipated, and they lived up to it. And I'm just glad we were able to, you know, get through in the 8th.
Was it a tough decision to take him out?
No, we're behind in the game. You know, you don't want to take him out. He doesn't want to come out, but that's the difference with the designated hitter. You don't have to face that decision. But when you're behind in the game, you need to do that. You need to score. It would have been a tough decision in the tie game to see what I was going to do, and I'm glad I didn't have to make that decision.
Joe, you talked a little bit before the game about National League rules, and you got to really be thinking. In the 8th inning, there was a lot of chess play going on there, wasn't there?
Well, yeah, you got to try to figure ahead, and putting Curtis in the game, because without Soho here, he's basically my pinch runner, because we didn't expect to get all the way down till the day that inning. But you really have to be on your toes. There's no question. In the American League, you don't necessarily have to write changes in, but in the National League you do, because you have to look at that card and see where you are by the end of the inning. But we were, we were in a good situation.
But you were able to get him to waste two guys.
Excuse me?
You got him to waste two guys in that inning,
Well, that's what it's all about. I mean, you try to run the other manager out of players. But again, it's a situation where I've got a bullpen, and he's got the bench that he's got to try to get the matchups. It's all about matchups, and when he has to make the move first, then it's easy to counteract it.
Joe Torre's team over the last 2 years in the postseason, a highly impressive 19-3 as they win Game 1 of the World Series at Turner Field in Atlanta. Here's the final out of the game. Scott Brocious catching the foul pop from Greg Myers. Bob Costas and Joe Morgan, their thoughts coming up right after this.
As you might expect, Teller and I don't see eye to eye on investing. I like to avoid risk. Teller's a little more daring. We do, however, share the same new way to trade online.
Introducing Power Street by Fidelity, the first site with trading tools customized by Lycos to fit your life, your goals, your unique way of doing things.
Look, the market's up. Or, in your case, down.
Power Street Online Trading. Call or visit Fidelity.com to open an account.
For 98 years, GMC has designed trucks for people who drove them not because they were trendy, but because their lives depended on them. Heroes who measured a truck by its power and its determination. That heritage lives in the Yukon Denali, a luxury SUV with a 255 horsepower V8. It meets the demands of professionals and the standards of history. The Yukon Denali by GMC.
This is the new frontier, the post-downsizing era. We've cut down to the bone. There's no more fat to trim. Success today is network knowledge, intellectual capital. Inspire your people with the tools to collaborate. Nurture this and survive. Curtail it and become extinct.
PeopleSoft, applications for e-business.
It's Go, Pat, Go to the Reform Party. In 1996, Pat Buchanan won the Republican primary in New Hampshire. Now he's leaving the GOP.
Play Hardball Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Monday on CNBC's Business Center. If you think the World Series earns teams big bucks, you won't believe how much income a high-tech ballpark can bring in. Our stadium's the new sports superstars. Monday, 6:30 Eastern on CNBC's Business Center.
Back at Turner Field in Atlanta, where the New York Yankees get their 8th win in 9 games in this postseason and effectively steal home field advantage from the Atlanta Braves. A 4-1 victory for the Yankees. The gentleman who called the game, Bob Costas and Joe Morgan, break down the Yankees' Game 1 victory. Guys?
Okay, Hannah, thanks a lot. Quickly, a look back at some of the key moments in Game 1. It started out as a great duel between Orlando Hernandez and Greg Maddux. Hernandez, as a matter of fact, struck out the side in the first. Chipper Jones, the last of them, caught looking. He'd fanned 10 in 7 innings of work. Maddux was matching him 0 for 0 into the bottom of the 4th, when Hernandez made his only significant mistake and Chipper Jones whacked it out of the park just inside the foul pole for a 1-0 lead. That 1-0 lead stood up to the top of the 8th. Hernandez there indicating the pitch was his fault. In the 8th, Brocious led off with his 3rd straight single. Strawberry pinch hit and drew a walk. Knobloch, looking to sacrifice, placed it well. Brian Hunter picked it up. It squirted out of his hand. The bases were loaded with nobody out. Next hitter, Derek Jeter, sharp single to left, ties the game, and the bases remain loaded. Exit Maddux, enter Rocker against the drawn-in infield. O'Neill pulls it past the diving Brett Boone. 2-run score. It's 3-1 in favor of the Yankees. And the runners move up on a throwing error by Hunter, his second error of the inning. Later, pinch hitter Jim Layrich draws another walk with the bases loaded. That makes it 4-1, and the Yankee bullpen takes it from there. Nelson and Stanton came on in the 8th. Rivera got the last out of the 8th inning, and then in the 9th, with 2 on and 1 out, he fans Brian Jordan and gets the pinch hitter Greg Myers to foul out to Scott Brocious. So although the Braves were able to bring the tying run to the plate against Rivera, he is still not allowed a run in this postseason and has allowed 1 run total since he blew a save against the Braves back on July the 16th.
Well, I think El Duque was on top of his game tonight. I mean, he had great stuff to go along with his pitching smarts, and he kept the Braves at bay. But I think the Yankees are a team of experienced players. They know how to win. Even though they were down and it looked like Maddux was in control, they kept coming at him, and then eventually they made a mistake. And once you make a mistake in the late innings against this Yankee ball club, they're able to close the deal.
So now it falls to Kevin Millwood, just a youngster, but really over the course of the whole season, the best pitcher on the Braves staff this year. 18-7 for the season, going against the veteran David Cone, 12-9 in Game 2. And we go back to Hannah Storm. Hannah.
Thanks, Bob and Joe. And in just a few minutes, the Red shortstop Barry Larkin will give us his assessment of tomorrow's pitching matchup between David Cone and Kevin Millwood. Again, the Yankees a winner tonight and tied the game. Derek Jeter with the RBI single through the hole to left off Greg Maddux, tied it at 1 and started the Yankee onslaught in the 8th inning.